They pay my rent. They pay my rent. Shut up. Shut up. I mean, so does Twitch, but nobody talk bad about YouTube in this house. In this house of the Lord. I didn't rename the YouTube stream.
That's, you know, I always forget one thing whenever I start up my stream, and it's usually the title. I started streaming last week with like charity stream, but it wasn't a charity stream. I felt like an asshole. It's okay. No one watched that stream anyway, so it's fine.
Okay, this is almost good. I have to replug a camera for TikTok. Right, day night. Okay, you fucks. I know the world may not agree with me. Trinket Mage apparently, in particular, doesn't agree with me, which is part of why we can't be in the same room together anymore. But the... Hold on. Why is this... Don't do this to me, TikTok. We can't do this again. We can't do this again, man. Just let me have a camera. Just let me show the people my big, juicy forehead.
Oh no, it's Hollow Pollock. I see. Yes, like the artist. I was not sure where the emphasis landed on the syllables. Thank you for the prime sub.
Okay.
Hollow Pollock.
Oh yeah, Hot Pollock. God bless you for that prime sub to 33 Elk, my goat. All right, and then let me update the rules information just to make sure. We've talked about this other times I've reviewed custom cards, but I realize I don't have it on a big fucking banner for today, so it probably will happen. If you submit AI art, we are skipping the card. Don't do it. It's fine if it's blank. It's fine if it's blank. It's fine if it's a stick figure. I will even entertain the idea of like additional bits or money for Elk and I to sketch in MS Paint art for the card. No AI art, no matter what. I don't care how much money you pay. AI art cards are getting skipped and not refunded. I'm going to put that in the rules command just so you all don't get that wrong.
Great news, guys. If you have 30,000 channel points in my channel, you can get me to draw an MS Paint. That's one of the channel point rewards.
Okay. I have updated rules to reflect that in big all caps letters right at the beginning. We have a shitload of cards already. Beautiful. I'm gonna hit the manual ad break, and then Elk.
Oh, I was already on manual ad break. I thought you were too. It's fine. We'll just be juxtaposed.
Dark and Air. Yeah, we have a teaser. Elk, do you want to look at the... Oh no, is that a teaser trailer? I don't want to watch a video with another person. That feels dirty.
You know, we can double react. That's like, you know, that's media.
That's true.
Media.
Cinema.
We're react Twitch streamers, right? We react to people's deck lists, right? That's what we do all day. We're react tubers.
Mm-hmm. Smokey, if you want to do 3 cards, you buy 1 of the limit 1 and 2 of the limit 2. So you can do the super cheap one, and then you can do 2 of the medium cheap ones. Fuck no, you can't spend Elk points, you bitch. This is about me. What are you talking about, Dave?
No, this is Mauled content. I am the +1.
Elk is here to provide a type of like actually knows how to play Magic vibe to the review stream. There's so many cards that I've looked at before where I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's broken, but I don't know how, so fuck it, that's fine.
Oh, I got you. I know like every card.
Yeah.
At least every relevant card.
Oh, then you do not know any of these cards. All right.
I was wondering why I had a headache. It's because I'm like listening to you without music, so I need to put some music on.
Holy shit. Nathiator, thank you for gifting 20 subs, my friend. Welcome back to Dog Heaven. For the purposes of today, that gets you 10 cards. That's fucking ridiculous. Not for card redeem. Holy shit. That's so generous, my friend. The Will Be Fire, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the Doghouse, my friend. Super Dave, welcome to my chat. I think we need... Here. Elk, do you want to be in control of the sketch add-on? And that way we can force everybody to double box?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You can make whatever cost you feel is appropriate for channel points. Make a redeem for we sketch card art. And now everybody must double box me and Elk to get maximum value out of your cards. I have a request to check my Ko-Fi.
Yeah, how do I add channel point rewards? I don't think I've done this midstream.
If you go to, are you in your stream manager?
Yeah, there's like quick actions and stuff.
Go to viewer rewards on the left hand. There should be a, viewer rewards,
yes,
power-ups
really
and channel points, and you can, the weird like emote face.
Manage power-ups and channel points. Okay. Default rewards, which I've inflated all the prices of because I'm a greedy monster. Kilroy V1, thank you for the resub.
Hell yeah, Kilroy. That's my guy right there. That's my fucking goat, Kilroy. All right. Also, Cairo Kyuto, thank you for the Prime sub for the 4th month. Welcome back to
add new customer
the dog home. So Elk,
MS Paint for your custom card.
I hope you got a motherfucking Gatorade, buddy. Because
I did.
Elk Man has just donated $250 on Ko-Fi for, I presume, an amount of cards that could break a table. I did not bother to scale the rates that high, Elk Man. So you know what, brother? You tell me how many that is.
Okay. The cost for custom art for your card will be 699 channel points, which is, I think you get like within 1 hour you get 1,000.
That's pretty funny. That's good.
I will also put a timer on this because I don't want to be doing it once every 17,000 years.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, I would limit it to yeah.
Maybe once every like 10 minutes. I don't want to be drawing all stream.
Once every 10 minutes or something. Yeah. Elk Man, thank you so much. So Elk, I've looked at a ton of Elix cards before. This is an Age of Sigmar custom set to give you an idea for the flavor. True Teal, thank you for the Prime sub for the 4th month. Welcome back to the dog home. Without further ado, I'm gonna open up the points redeem, and you ready to just start fucking yelling?
All right, we already have the MS Paint for your custom card redemption.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. When we get to there, who's it for?
It's for good girl Zoria.
Hell yeah.
Is that someone that has one?
Zoria has done many before. I'm certain they have one. We already have we have 13 tier 1s. We have, where's tier 2? 8 tier 2s. We have like 30 to 40 cards in the queue so far. I am sure Good Girl Zoria is one of them.
Okay.
Elk Man, are you okay with us doing Age of Sigmar as a chunk? Like keeping your redeems together? And then for Elk Man stuff, let me preface this by saying I'm never doing this again, but I wanted to support the very first custom stream in a big way. Now I'll give you and Elk a choice for the Age of Sigmar. Do you want to see the faction that I think needs the most help or the one I'm most proud of? So Elk, do you want to see the one that needs surgery or the one that Elk thinks is like, yeah, this is choice?
If we're here to critique things, I mean, you obviously need to send in the one that's like the one that needs more help, right?
All right, then give us the sickly little children who need surgery. So the tiers are just different point values to make people's first card very affordable and make their second card like give them chances to get a card in for a very low rate. And then all right, I had the fucking, we're going to open up with Ellie the Sinister Goon Vizier.
Where do we see this?
In the thread in my Discord, the first card we're looking at is John Maldhound, King Goon.
Okay. Understood.
John Maldhound King Goon. 5 mana Grixis 2/5. Creatures you control have haste. Whenever a blocking creature you control dies, draw a card. Whenever an attacking creature you control dies, John Maldhound King Goon deals 2 damage to each creature that blocked this turn. Whenever a creature you control dies while not in combat, each opponent loses 1 life.
Okay, I inherently am just not a fan of cards that reward you for sitting back on blockers and doing nothing.
Me either, and I hate... I mean, me being an aristocrat as the King Goon is somewhat appropriate, but God, I hate being an aristocrat. I want to be like a Zergo-esque commander.
Yeah, like, I don't like whenever a blocking creature you control dies, draw a card. It's not like the strongest thing in the world, right? But it encourages like pretty unfun play patterns for commander where you kind of just sit back on a ton of blockers and you don't move the game forward. That shit's annoying.
Chump mode, yeah. Alec, we'll do them all as a chunk for rewatch purposes. What if we switched attacking creature text and blocking creature text? So attacking creatures become cards, and then blocking creatures are just pseudo better blockers because it deals 2 damage. And so it's like I might get my get back, but the juicy advantage is if they die swinging.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot more easily shown as like blocking creatures you control get +2/+0, but then that doesn't really feel Grixis, does it?
No, but fuck you. No, but fuck off. Yeah.
I'm thinking about like Grixis crash outs and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Whenever a blocking creature you control dies, like return to the battlefield tapped or something would be pretty funny.
That would be so good. Holy shit.
Well, you get a decayed counter and then it can't block anymore, and you get 1 attack with it and then it dies.
Oh, that's genius.
That would be a pretty fun
design. Yeah. Black, bring it back with Decayed, then it gets the card guaranteed, but has to crash out. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and you also, of course, can't block with it. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I like that. Accepted. Rattenstall, thank you for the $100 tip, which is, again, I set rates up to like $15 donations. And after that, I didn't set rates. All right. I'm going to call it good for this card. Yeah. Mojo check rules. Next, we'll go to Raven Wings, which is directly below DMC's. This is Ouroboros, Cycle of Death, a Jund card. Oh, a 5/4 saga creature. So many fucking words. Holy God.
Yeah, I don't think saga creatures were built for this amount of wordage.
They were not. They were built for something. It was not to be literate. It was not for literacy. Holy shit, Radden, that's just for support? Thank you so much. That's so incredibly kind and generous of you. Now let's ruin that by talking about the custom card. So Saga 1 is you fight something. So it's basically soft removal. 4 mana, you deal 5 damage to something.
All right, we're already in like Flame Tunkavu murderous Choop territory. Right. So this is like pack 1, pick 1 god tier draft card already.
Oh, it's also Death Touch Lifelink. Oh Jesus. And it's one mana regenerated?
Okay, so this is mythic. This is a mythic draft common.
Mythic rare that people are demanding is banned out of limited. Step 2, mill 3, get an extra land. Step 3, Underworld Breach for historic cards.
Wait.
Step 3 is historic cards breach.
This is literally like almost as good as Kethis on chapter 3, and Kethis is a fucked up magic card. That's hilarious. Well, you can't reactivate this, so you can't do like the combo lines with Kethis like you normally would be able to. Normally you'd like get a bunch of like Mox Opals out of the graveyard and legend rule them each, and then you would exile 2 new legendaries from your graveyard and then cast all the Mox Opals again with Kethis. You can't do this with that, or that with this. So it is healthier than Kethis. Now, that's not, like, if we're comparing it to Kethis the Hidden Hand, however.
I mean, so it only being able to attack once helps the 5/4 Death Touch lifelink for 4 mana a
fights.
lot. Right, but the fight and the regeneration is crazy. Like, I get to fight, and if you had you have to chump block this, and I probably killed the thing that you would chump. It's way too good. It has to be peeled back. You get to pick where, but it has to be peeled back.
The last 2 lines of text in like the giant block area can just go. If you just have Death Touch lifelink on the 5/4, you're like already set.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing with whenever you sacrifice a saga, you get 1 colorless. Like that's a fun
I think they just want to make
like,
this a saga commander and then escape sagas out. Like I can see the bad commander play pattern that we're doing this for. And in every situation other than the very specific and goofy I play Jund sagas, it's so heinous.
You could also replay Ouroboros.
Right.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up.
Yeah, and so you just permanently replay Ouroboros with your permanently increasing land drops and mill. Yeah, the regenerating doesn't work, but you would part 3 would trigger. Ouroboros goes to grave. You replay Ouroboros. Like if you just have this commander and Mesmeric Orb, you kill people with commander damage eventually.
Yeah, like you don't need to even run another saga.
Yeah. So this is fucked up, Raven. This is definitely power fantasy stuff, but I love you very much. Please, you get to pick where it peels back from, but it's got to peel back somewhere. Let me turn off. Hold on. I'm going to turn off streamer mode because I can't track the actual names that are posting cards.
Well, the point, Rattenshall, is that Ouroboros is infinite, right? So you can play them again. I think that's fine. That you can replay it. I think maybe there should be more chapters to it.
Yeah, longer chapters to build up to that would probably be reasonable, and that way you could actually benefit from the thing. And then
Jade Suki, thanks for the prime set, by the way.
Hell yeah, Jade Suki. We also, I replied to this in chat. Elk's Ko-Fi is also open at the same rate for custom card reviews. So if you want to support your local Bambi child, donate to them, and we will honor the exact same rates.
Fuck yes. Okay, based.
Next, we have Nathiators got a set of 5 or set of 4. Starting with Nezarek, Final God of Pain, 5 mana, impressionist art style. I like that. 5/5 with trample. On combat damage, you and that opponent wheel until end of turn. You can color fixed cast anything they discarded, and when you cast a spell you've stolen, each opponent loses life equal to that spell's mana value. I kind of like that. I think that's cool.
So I want to compare this to a card, Elder Brain, which is 7 mana for this sort of similar effect. You exile someone's hand,
right,
and then they get a new hand,
and
then you can play cards in the exiled hand. That's 7 mana for a flyer.
But doesn't that let you do it forever? As long as you steal it.
Yeah, but this one also has the line of text at the end, which reminds me of Brainstealer Dragon, which does a very similar thing. I think maybe this should be 6 mana.
I don't think it should, and here's why. I try to cram Elder Brain and Brainstealer Dragon into every commander deck I can, and they fucking suck. And so maybe if this one's pushed as hell, I can play with it.
Okay, I like that. However, maybe 6 mana, give it a little Ward 2. A little Ward 2.
Yeah, 6 mana Ward 2. I would agree with that. So a little bit more expensive, a little bit of defense, so you can actually get it off. But I like this effect a lot. I like that it's...
I love this card. I love that the Theft player has to kill me.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one, which is Savathun, the Witch Queen. 5 mana Esper Hive God. This looks Destiny too. 3/5. On damage, look at the top 3 cards of a player's library and exile them face down. Reveal 2 of the cards exiled this way. Target opponent may let you play them for as long as they remain exiled. If they don't, you free cast the other face down card.
This is awesome. This is so cool.
That kind of rips. That's fucked up. Like, I would shoot this bitch on sight. You never get ward. You never get ward for her, but that does rip.
Shell game.
That rips pretty fucking hard.
I'm a big fan of fucking like sphinxes and stuff, and this feels like a real sphinxy effect, you know?
Yeah, that's sphinx coded as hell. Her boobs are not big enough to be a sphinx, so get on that. But otherwise, hell yeah.
I'm into that.
Okay, next we have the Witness, 6 mana, all pips, which is bold of you. A 6/6 with menace and protection from artifacts. The final shape. All creatures are All creatures are artifacts. Same is true for creature spells that aren't on the battlefield, so stuff on the stack is an artifact. Whenever the Witness deals combat damage to an opponent, you gain control of an artifact that player controls. I worry that there are follow-on effects from all creatures are artifacts that you have not considered sufficiently for the effect being, I take your creature when I hit you.
So it is Dimir locked. So we're not getting like Bane of Progress like a Yigger deck would be.
Yeah.
So like there's Hurkyl's Recall, I guess. That's kind of funny though. If you Hurkyl's Recall someone, that's the one in a blue, return all artifacts to their owner's hands or target player.
Okay, target player. I like that as an interaction. I play my commander. It's 6. I play 6 mana. Next turn I pay 2 exactly. And I Rivers Rebuke you because my commander sucks.
The pro artifact is also really funny because you can't get Solituded. Solitude's an artifact when it enters and you can't target it because it's an artifact. I think it should maybe say all other creatures are artifacts in addition to other types. I feel like this having protection from artifacts might cause some weirdness.
Yeah.
There. And then also just like, it's kind of unintuitive that this isn't an artifact creature. So if I either make this an artifact creature and say all other creatures or just say all other creatures. I don't know the lore well enough. Yeah, menace and protection from artifacts is also hilarious because if all creatures are artifacts, the menace does fucking nothing. You're already unblockable. What is the menace doing?
Being shitty. What else would it be doing?
Well, menace is a goated keyword, but not if you're already unblockable.
Yeah, so real. Alright, so this one needs a little bit of help. Let's see what the last one is. Riven of 1,000 voices. Of 1,000 entire voices. 5 mana colorless, 4/4. When you cast it, exile a permanent you control or permanent card in your graveyard. All non-land permanents you control other than Riven have the abilities of the exiled card. Oh no. Whenever you activate or trigger an ability of a non-land permanent you control other than this ability, you lose 2 life. I thought this card was going to be good. Okay, so Elk, when you flicker this with Philia, what are you exiling?
So it's when you cast the spell, so you can't flicker with Philia.
Shut up. When you Hercules recall yourself after you've played the Dimir commander and you recast this, what are you exiling?
So as a commander, this is kind of like weird because colorless doesn't have a lot of really good options. I would say like there's a good few homes for this. So in any monocolor deck, you can just like nab a what's it called? It's the 4 mana Scepter of Eternal Glory.
Oh,
Nykthos is also really good.
Yeah,
you can make a fuckload of mana with this thing. That does involve exiling the permanent and tapping 5 mana. So, but you Nykthos, you cast it, you exile the Nykthos, and then all of your lands are now Nykthoses. And then you have a huge burst of mana.
Well, no. Non-land permanents are Nykthoses. Okay, and then you lose 2 life every time you tap them, which is, I think, okay.
Yeah, so Scepter of Eternal Glory is like the major mana engine I'm thinking of then. Because you just like tap each for 3.
Yeah.
You can do that in colorless too with like a Thran Dynamo too. So.
Okay, so you just make $1 million. You have 100 money. No, the curse part's good. I like the curse part because it prevents people from just doing like dirtle foo with it. Because you have to do something that is meaningful enough that it will translate to you killing other people and not just, okay, I have 1 million mana for the rest of the game. I wait. I like
So,
that.
this works like in the future, right? Like all non-land permanents you control other than Riven have all the abilities. So future things have ETBs, right?
Oh, true. Yeah, because it says all abilities. So you can take something with a dope ETB and then everything you shit out. Okay. I think.
So you need Revelark and Grey Merchant of Asphodel, and you go in from
I
there.
hate you. I hate you. Don't say that. I googled Mossfire Valley to make myself feel better. Just make them all filter lands.
You can almost assuredly do some like Revelark bullshit with this. Can't you? So all non-land permanents. So if you put a reanimate on death on Riven, I'm sure there's an effect like that when this thing dies, you return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you just have Riven forever? And all creatures forever.
Well, yeah, but after the first time, because it will forget each time Riven leaves and comes back, because it's not counter-based exile. Yeah, which I think is a good thing. So I like this. I like this enough to let you rock with it. Madra, thank you for the additional 3,500 bit cheer. That is almost certainly enough. Elk, do you want to look at a bunch of really fucked up cleric cards?
I love clerics, yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, okay. So if you love clerics, I need you and we got to come together right now. I've seen some of these cards, Elk.
Yeah.
These cards are bullshit. These cards are made with love. Okay. They are Wattpad power fantasy. So I need you to be like, what's reasonable in the game Magic the Gathering? And sometimes it'll be like, oh yeah, that's fine. And sometimes it'll be like, did Mark Rosewater take meth before designing this?
Okay.
So go to the top and start clicking on Madra's cards.
That is a lot of cards.
That's a lot of cards, and they spent a lot of money. They spent 7,000 bits, which I think translates to 20 cards. So we will go through 20. We will put the first is the Janitor, which is a 3-mana Orzhov creature. Well, Orzhov to cast 2/2, Mentor Soulbond Ward 1. As long as the Janitor is paired, it and each of those creatures gets +1/+1 for each creature paired with the Janitor. If the paired creature is a Cleric, the Janitor gains Cleric spells you cast cost Mardu less to cast. Creatures you control can be paired more than once, and soulbound abilities you control trigger as though all creatures you control were unpaired.
No.
But you love Clerics, Elk. Think about the Clerics.
Okay. So the Mardu less to cast will reduce generic costs, because it doesn't say otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a free Edgewalker, and then you proceed to like fucking storm with Clerics, which is Edgewalker is already very good. So having another creature in a Cleric's deck is not an issue. That's like not even a requirement.
Yeah, I have seen this before, and it's you get a Voltron commander that also lets you just rip through your deck.
So this is just like a Polycule commander also?
Yes, that's the point of the deck. It's a Polycule of horny Clerics.
So it's going to be a nightmare to track, where you have like 6 Soulbond creatures in play.
Yeah.
And then you play a new one, and then all 6 Soulbond onto that one. And that works for tokens too, right?
Yes. They said yes in all caps, by the way. This is like, yes, you see the vision.
Okay, I would say non-token creatures, please. Can we at least do that? That's where I'm starting. It's already also still hard to track with like multiple Soulbond things. Because like imagine Cathar's Crusade like counters headaches, but you need to track which permanents are attached to which permanents.
Oh my god. Yeah, alright, let's keep the good times rolling with Angel of Strings, which is a 4-mana... Oh god, I've seen this. 4-mana Kindred Artifact, Angel with Flash. When it ETBs or dies, destroy a creature. Whenever a card leaves an opponent's graveyard, creatures get +1/+1 till end of turn. At the beginning of each player's end step, sack this artifact if that player's graveyard is empty, and it is a miracle cost for 2 mana.
At rare, this isn't like the worst thing I've ever read. I'm trying to think. It needs to say whenever 1 or more cards leave an opponent's graveyard. Because if you just crack a Relic of Progenitus and your creatures get +60, +60, that's a problem.
Right. I will say a sub-theme of this deck is exiling from the graveyard. This is a, I think, slightly retooled version that is much better. Thank you, Madra.
Yeah, but it needs to say 1 or more. Because if the Muldrotha player is sitting over there with 40 cards in their graveyard, and you go sack my Remorseful Cleric, exile your graveyard, and then you go all of my creatures get +40, +40, that can't be allowed.
I Bojuka Bog and then send you into heaven. Yeah, this is. Yeah, so I think if we did 1 or more, it would be good. That way you can stack. You can try to. They are exorcists, period. Madra, I need you to understand. We get that. We get the flavor. The flavor being good doesn't mean that we can just be like, so I win for 2 mana. Because it's still.
Oh, God.
Because the flavor of that still works with them being exorcists. It's just if you perform for every unique exorcism you perform, you get stronger. But if you just happen to luck out and you have a bunch of dumb baby ghosts and you get rid of 60 at once, you don't get to, win the game for free there.
Yeah. I also don't like the flash on this card a lot. So Miracle already lets you flash things if you draw a card on your opponent's turn. I think that's a really fun play pattern. And I think that just this having flash is just like too much of a buyout. 4 mana, sorcery speed, destroy 2 target creatures, also get this Anthem effect is like already very good. Yeah. So I would say maybe just cut the flash.
I can see that.
That's so 1 or more cards leave an opponent's graveyard and also cut the flash. That's like, I'm like in
like Flynn. All right, next we have Apocalyptic Star, X Mardu. Deal X damage to each opponent and each permanent they control. If any permanent dealt damage by Apocalyptic Star would die this turn, exile it instead. Wander into the Presbytery. This is a custom dungeon that they've come up with.
Sorry, I was not expecting wander into the Presbytery.
And then we have Miracle for X and 2. So you can Miracle, spend a lot less on it, or it's just a big fucking one-sided exile board wipe, which I'm mostly okay with. Mardu has way less top. Like, if you gave this to blue, I start getting very fucking uncomfortable. If this was a Jeskai board wipe, I'm pissing myself.
Yeah, this is Bonfire of the Damned with upside. I think maybe this should be X and actual Mardu, not X red hybrid Orzhov. X and a Mardu would feel fine to me, I think. Because you're already having the X by miracling this. So I think I like X and a Mardu more. It's a fine card, because here, when you do X is 7, it's 5 damage to everything your opponents control, and your opponents, whereas with X and a Mardu, it's 4 damage. Maybe I've talked myself out of it. That sounds kind of fair. 7 is typically the amount of mana I want to see ending the game, and 5 damage is pretty decent. Though it is one-sided. I don't know what wandering into the Presbytery does. That's gonna entirely change.
Yeah. We'll talk about that a little later. Next we have the Battle-Hardened Priest, a 2 mana 2/2 with first strike and gives all clerics haste.
2 mana for an unconditional first strike is stupid. It's such a good blocker.
Incredibly good blocker. It gives itself haste as well. So it's 2 mana 2/2 with first strike and haste, and other shit has haste. I think this is one of those things where I think this is a consequence of it being designed by a commander player for their commander deck, because in commander you probably don't feel why this is super broken, and then you play 1 game of draft and have to play against this thing, and you tear all of the hair out of your head. That's what happened to me.
I think this is fine if it casts actual Mardu, so red, white, black, period. Or you give it first strike while attacking other clerics you control have haste.
Oh yeah, make it first strike, but only when he's in battle and he's not just a really fucking good blocker. He's just a really good hitter. I like that.
Yeah, this is
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, and then we have Book of Immolation. 3-mana artifact with Snare. Snare is like disguise. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card energy, but for artifacts. So you can play it face down, then flip it later. And this artifact,
so if you play face down, is it an artifact?
I believe so, yeah. It's a face down artifact. When this artifact ETBs or is turned face up, exile target player's graveyard, then it deals damage to a permanent equal to the number of cards exiled this way. If no cards are exiled this way, one target creature gets +5/+5 and wither until end of turn. Then sack this artifact. So this is, hey, do you play Muldrotha? What if you died for 3 mana? Wait, no, permanent. Never mind. Good. Excellent. This seems fine. This blows up a creature or makes one of my creatures good and then goes away.
Yeah, it's a removal spell and also a pump spell. I think +5/+5 is a lot. Because on turn 3, there's a chance that someone doesn't have a graveyard, and then you go +5/+5 Wither. But that's just like a 3-mana 5/5 pump spell. That just doesn't feel that red. Is my issue.
Yeah, and I think this is again a thing of like in Commander, turn 3 somebody blows a card to hit you for 7 instead of 2. I don't know. I'm not freaking out. I do like an over dramatic and then I don't care.
Yeah, I think this is doable as like +2/+1 or +3/+1 and Wither. +5/+5's a lot. I know there's like a little bit of a hoop, but like on turn 3 when this can come down, it's like that's not a hoop.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just like red in particular. Like I respect the Wither. It's just like red in particular pumps power more than toughness. That's like more red.
All right, next we have Book of Unmaking, which is another snare effect, but this one's 5 mana or the snare is Mardu. ETBs are turned face up. For each opponent, exile a permanent they control and its controller loses 2 life. Repeat the process for each opponent with an empty graveyard, then sacrifice this artifact. Alright, so the sacrifice this artifact means we can't give it the like O-ring text of you exile it under this thing because they get it back instantly.
Yeah.
So I think 3 mana. So here's the thing. I'm thinking of Grasp of Fate, which is 3 mana, I get to hit everybody once, but they can get it back. This is...
that's the same mindset I have right now.
This is conceivably turn 3, by the way, because I can pay 2 colorless on turn 2 to face down it. Like the snare is barely alternate. It's really just a layaway. And so it's turn 3, same turn I could have cast Grasp of Fate. I get to exile 2 permanents you control, and you lose 4, and you have no way to say fucking anything about it. Which is... If the book is... If it is core to the books that they have to be sacrificed, and we can't put anything under it, this has to get weaker somehow. Like, they either have to gain life, or we have to put or we have to tunnel in on what they're allowed to take, because this is just like wildly better than every other removal spell. Like, let's look at what they just printed. It's like
even compared to Windgrace's Judgment.
Oh yeah, Windgrace's Judgment, same mana cost. Destroy.
You can't split up Windgrace Judgment though, like you can with this card. You can go 2 and 3 with this one. You can't go 2 and 3 with Windgrace's. And good news, you can't flicker with Felia.
Great news. Great fucking news.
Because it sacrifices itself.
Yeah, I think it probably has to gain like a meaningful amount of life for this to not be fucked, but it still seems pretty fucked.
I would just axe the repeat the process line.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, one rest in peace makes this the strongest, because artifact recursion is not the hardest thing in Mardu. A rest in peace being on field makes this, you are in permanent jail. You are in permanent jail. You will never have any non-land permanents anymore. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm moving to Brawler Priest. A 2-mana 2/1. The creature has first strike as long as defending player has cards in their graveyard. Sure. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, exile a target card from a graveyard. If you do, make a blood token. If their graveyard's empty, blow up an artifact.
Okay. There seems to be a little bit of like issue here in terms of like this all cares about exiling graveyards.
Mm-hmm.
And Brawler Priest says it has first strike as long as a player has cards in their graveyard. So you're like turning off your own Brawler Priest's first strike with the Cleric's mechanics.
I think that's like, well, if they're an exorcist, right? Once the graveyard is empty and the job is done, they don't have to be as ready to fight, right? That kind of that makes sense flavorfully to me. What makes less sense is, I mean, actually a 2/1 that has no first strike having to get through to blow up an artifact. I'm trying to read this as the creature just says on combat damage, I blow up an artifact. If you want graveyards to be empty, it's really easy for them to be empty.
Yeah, what you do is you hold up Thraben Charm and you go like attack with my Brawler Priest with first strike, and they go, oh damn, first strike, that's basically unblockable. And then you hit them with the Thraben Charm, and now it loses first strike after blockers. Because Thraben Charm says exile target player any number of target players' graveyards.
Yeah. I don't know about any of that bullshit. This is just a 2-mana. This is a 2-mana creature that kills an artifact on damage. If that is too good, we have to pair the cost up a little bit, and maybe the stat line can go up. If that's fine, then I think the card's fine, and the rest of this is just like Christmas Land cookery, and Christmas Land cookery is very holy to me.
It should say destroy up to 1 target artifact, because if you're the only one with artifacts and you clobber someone over the head, you have to blow up one of your own things.
Good. Good.
Sure. Yeah, I don't. This is pretty unoffensive, I would say. The first line of text feels like it non-bows a lot with clerics, though.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's talk about Brother Abel. A 3-mana 3/3 with flash. On ETB, exile any number of target players' graveyards. For each player where no cards are exiled this way, you draw a card, gain 3 life.
I kind of like this.
Of course you do, you fucking Philia player. Of course you love this. You goddamn...
It should say if you cast it. That's actually a good point. Because if you flicker this with Felia, you get to Ancestral Recall and gain 9 every turn.
Mm-hmm.
When Brother Abel enters, if you cast it, exile any number of target players' graveyards. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so we change it to cast, and then this one passes muster. Let's see who is next. Brother Jeff. 4-mana 4/4, lifelink, prot zombies. On attack, exile a card from each opponent's graveyard. Attacking creatures you control get +2/+2 and trample until end of turn for each player you attack this turn that has no cards in their graveyard.
Oh, so it's like melee.
Yeah, well, it's super melee. It's harder to achieve melee, but if I achieve it, it's much better.
I almost think you don't need the, like, when it attacks, exile a card from each opponent's graveyard line of text.
Well, but Elk, if each card doesn't do everything I need the entire deck to do, how are we supposed to play the deck? Be reasonable. Be reasonable. I think the thing is, like, I'm trying to imagine how Commander games typically play out, and so far this deck feels like an attempt to make aggro relevant at high power without doing Slicer. Because turn 4, like, if nobody's hit a fetch I feel like graveyards are relatively empty anyway, and so this reads to me, I'm always giving everything +6/+6 if I'm allowed to hit everybody's graveyard as soon as I attack.
Oh, it's a little fucked. Okay, the last string should include Brother Draft. When Brother Draft attacks, attacking creatures you control get +2/+2 and trample. Like the fact that it's just static.
Oh, Brother Jeff is swinging. Come on.
No, just attack with Adeline. Play Adeline turn 3, Brother Jeff turn 4, and then you swing with Adeline and you send the attacking soldiers out, and they all get +6/+6.
Yeah, that's fine. So I think it has to be whenever Jeth attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. Like, I think that is slow enough that the banner's not just on all the time, but you're still allowed to do it. Otherwise, this is like, I play Clerics have haste turn 2. I play Adeline turn 3. I play this fucko. Like, at least a graveyard is empty. And then... Yeah, we just have to pull it back.
I think you just might, like, axe the trample.
Axing the trample would be good. Give me 1 second. How do I...
You can go in the lower left-hand corner and click on your thingy, and then click on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, lower left corner. Thank you. How the fuck do I turn on Do Not Disturb?
You see like your name in the lower left-hand corner?
Yeah.
With your profile picture, click on that. And then it'll pop up a thing that says like online away, do not disturb.
Perfect. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. My Discord notifs were blowing up because I have streamer mode off to read the names and the custom card submissions. All right. We're going to keep it pushing. So past Brother Jeth. Where the fuck am I? I lost my spot.
Brother Johnny. Or is that... That's not how you spell Johnny.
Brother John He. Brother John He. 4 mana Boros 3/2. Cleric ETB. Target creature gets +1/+0 in first strike. Whenever a cleric attacks an opponent with no cards in grave, it gains double strike.
Yeah, it's fine.
Elk says it's fine. It's fine. Elk says it's fine. It's fine.
This is the first card where I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. We can see the vision. All right, and now we're gonna get really horny with Brother Lex. 4 mana Rakdos, 2/2 with Undying. Oh, I saw a version of this card and it made me throw up. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery from their hand, exile it with X time counters on it instead of it going to grave, where X is the mana value. On the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter. When the last time counter is removed, you may cast it for free. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, Brother Lex deals 1 damage to any target.
This is just fine, isn't it?
Yes.
The Undying's kind of annoying.
The Undying's annoying, but this version I'm fine with.
Notably, if you Swords to Plowshares this, you do not get the spell.
Right. It's so Shaziro, importantly...
No. It'll trigger on the cast. You still get it.
Well, you still get it, but I don't believe... It is not the suspend mechanic. So as soon as this card is gone, you stop getting rid of the time counters. And so you would not... So that is one of the things that I like a lot about this is, while you have Lex, yeah, any instants and sorceries you cast, gimme on delay, but as soon as you deal with Lex, you...
It is part of the same trigger, like at the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time count. That's not a separate static ability. So I don't know if it is a separate thing.
Then we should make it a separate thing, because then it's great. If it's a separate thing, I feel fine about it.
Yeah, Brother Lex, what if it said, like, at the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter from a card in exile? Or just use a different counter. And so you don't fuck with opponent suspends? But maybe that's fun, I don't know.
Alright, next we have Brother of Banishment, who is... Wow, which JJK character is this? Who? There's no way to know. 2 mana, 2 on first strike. If a creature an opponent controls would die and it was dealt damage by a cleric you control, exile it instead.
Terminally fair.
Yeah. We rocking with this. We rocking with this for sure. GM Alexandra, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate those Jeffrey dollars. Let me check how many cards we're through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're through 12, so we have 8 more of Madras to do. Let's pull this shit up. Brother of Cremation. A 3-mana 2/2 with Wither. ETB, add double red. Beginning of main phase, choose 1. Exile up to 2 cards from graveyards, or ritual for each player with no cards in graveyard.
Now that red gets mana dorks, this is like kind of fine. I think you don't even need the when this creature enters part.
I mean, I kind of understand it for double spelling.
Is double spelling a theme in the Cleric stack?
No, but getting free storm because everything costs no money is. Everything.
That's true. Cremation is free if you have the
right.
Polycule.
Yeah, if you have Mr. Polycule out. And I think that my problem is still, I think this is 2 cards from graveyards, and it should be 1 card from graveyard. Like, for everybody but the self-mill player, this deck has punted your graveyard into the sun turn 2. And once that happens, this is like a very good dork that does not need to tap and is an excellent blocker and is an excellent attacker if he gets Wither or any of the buffs we have. Like, it is so easy to make this guy float 2 red every turn. You may not be able to float 3 every turn because somebody is going to be doing Golgari shit, but it feels really, really easy to make him float 2.
Yeah.
So but I'm fine with that if it's just exile 1 card. I think you just have to slow down. Like, this deck wants to have a lot of payoffs for keeping graveyards empty, and I think that is okay, but I think it is like every fucking card I see could single-handedly keep the graveyard empty in the average Commander game. And that's my... Yeah.
I feel like some of these cards are just doing like too much. Like, this is too many words on a card for like an uncommon.
Don't make us pull up Final Fantasy talking about too many words for an uncommon. Next, the
vibe is just weird. The vibe is just weird.
Next, we have Brother Rico. 4 mana, all pip, 3/3, trample undying. Permanents your opponents control have vanishing. Whenever a creature deals damage to you, you may exile a card from your graveyard and put a number of time counters equal to its mana value on target non-land permanent. So
that doesn't work, I think. Wait, no, vanishing.
No, it does. It does. We saw a different version of this card that was heinous and was the only creature you ever had to play. Because when you give everything vanishing, nothing happens. Vanishing only happens when you remove the last counter. And so this is, you all have vanishing now. Nobody explodes. If I get hit, I exile something from my graveyard. Now you have time counters on. Now you have a ticking time bomb going.
Okay.
And so it's like a propaganda. It's like a no mercy effect, but on a time delay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I think just continuing the standard that Wizards of the Coast have set up for us. It should say non-land. Non-land permanents your opponent's control have vanishing.
Yeah, you scared of a little land destruction? What's wrong?
No, I think it'd be fine if it didn't say that. I just think like if we're going based on the forefathers.
Yeah.
This should say non-land permanents your opponent's control of vanishing. Okay. I mean, like, yeah, this is kind of cool though. Other than that,
I like it as Mardu propaganda. Next, we have Brother Ven, a 4 mana 2/2. On combat damage, time travel. Whenever you time travel, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature at the beginning of each combat phase. If an opponent has no cards in their graveyard, clerics you control gain prot from the color of your choice until end of turn. Couple things I'm kind of...
Yeah, that's you time travel a lot. This is like toxic for 4 mana in the right deck.
Depending on how much other time counter stuff we have, I like this. Oh wait, never mind. It is just toxic. I think this has to say 1 or more clerics, because then you can still get fucked up and stupid if you hit all 3 players. If you spread the love, which you can because all of your creatures have +6/+6 and trample at all times, you can get 3 counters out. But this reads every creature I have puts a -1/-1 counter on something, and now nobody has a board. The only person who does have a board can't block me because I can gain protection from their colors because I already beat up Sam 2 turns ago.
Yeah. It is a little messed up that like this has the Orcish Bowmaster thing where someone wheels and then you thermonuclear bomb the other player.
Mm-hmm. I think you just kill the last paragraph completely. And then the cleric deals combat damage time travel has to be 1 or more. Because otherwise this is continuing the theme of like Calvin Ball design where it's just like, what if every card was Superman and Batman? And this guy can be Dr. Manhattan, but I think he has to just be Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. I think the first 2 lines of this ability, if you get through with clerics, which you will, you get -3/-3 on any creature every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like really good already. And then time traveling on top of that, of course, is also just nutty.
All right, let's move on to the Claws of Divine Rage, a 3-mana artifact. On ETB, attach it to a cleric. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each cleric you control. It also has trample. It also has wither. Its equip cost is 3. Its miracle cost is red, but it is Mardu Miracle, which is like whatever.
Yeah, you kind of need blue or some other like decent setup. You can do it in black with the miracle creatures, but it's hard. Yeah, no, this is like really inoffensive. This is like the first card I'm like, hell yeah, like I'm already like on board.
Hell yeah. All right, this one passes. Next we have Confessions to the Night. Spell costs 1 less if you control a cleric. Target player draws 3, loses 3. For the last time, it's Forgive me, Father, I have sinned, and not Forgive me, Daddy, I've been naughty. Tremendous flavor text. This one's inoffensive. Just cleric, kindred, go offery. And then... this should be the last one for Madras. Door of the Wandering Presbytery. 10 mana. Oh, but flash and affinity for clerics. When it ETBs and at the end of a turn it enters, wander into the presbytery. Whenever a player attacks with 2 or more creatures each turn, exile it, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next combat phase. Ooh, whenever anybody attacks with that, we don't have a reference for what wandering into the presbytery does. I believe from... oh wait, here we do. It's the thing at the very end of their things, but it is... it's kind of like the Undercity, but not as good. You get to...
where? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. We get to search for a basic. We search for a basic, gain 2 life. Next round is we make a creature token and a food, or exile a card, get a treasure. Then you can get triple explore or a shield counter. Then you get a stun counter, a trample counter, or you exile a card from each graveyard, and then the last is you draw 3.
Yeah, this is fine compared to the initiative anyway.
Yeah. This is... Wandering Presbytery doesn't advance alone. Okay, so if it has no... then if it has no, like, on upkeep I wander, or, like, on end step I wander anyway, I would be willing to let you try with this. Because then it's another, like, weird Mardu propaganda, because nobody else wants to attack with a wide board. And you can potentially just wheel through it, but it is, like...
What's the purpose of splitting up the 2 triggers? Like, on when it enters, and then at the end of a turn it enters? Why are we splitting this up? Why aren't we just wandering twice?
I'm presuming just to give like a window for somebody else to blow it up. Because if you have sorcery speed artifact removal and you attack with 2.
Well, this is all one trigger.
Oh,
right?
it's all one trigger.
When it enters, and then at the end of the turn it enters.
That I have no idea.
I think the second one's a delayed thing.
I think that's just grammar school, but I think if we're okay with getting 2 triggers on the turn it comes in, and then it doesn't otherwise. So it triggers twice when it comes in, and then does not otherwise trigger.
Yeah.
So if we're okay with that, then it's fine.
Yeah, like it's just weird. It should just trigger twice if you wanted to trigger twice.
Yeah. Then for flavor considerations, I don't really care about the wording. If Presbytery does not trigger on its own, like initiative, chill and cool, or at least cool enough to try. And then I will pull the queue back up, and we will go first here. Where's Benjamin? We're going to go to Benjamin's, which is directly below Nathiater. They made this circa 2013. So this should be terminally fair or appropriate for Final Fantasy. At the beginning of upkeep, you may flip a coin. If you win the flip, take an extra turn. If you lose the flip, end the turn. Oh, but this is an enchantment, and is it? I don't think I could ever play this. But yeah.
It's fair, but it shouldn't exist.
Right. It's not a power issue, it's a smell issue.
I'm gonna clone Krark's Thumb and indeterministically take infinite turns.
Yeah. Like, I think it gives good decks a non-guaranteed way to try to win. It doesn't give bad decks... Like, I think it gives bad decks a way to make other people mad at them. But it is fair in a vacuum.
Oh yeah, Edgar King of Figaro just got printed as well, but that is 2 6-drops making infinite turns.
Yeah,
but...
like if you get to do that.
Yeah, still, it's just like, it's either like horrifically unfun for you. What I like about it actually is that, like, in a draw go deck, you go like untap. You don't get your land drop, which kind of blows, but you go untap, and then oh, I don't get my turn. Oh no, all my instants in my Izzet deck.
Oh no,
what will they ever do? So it's kind of funny for a draw go deck where you don't care if you skip your turn, and if you get an extra turn, fuck yeah. That's kind of a fun pattern, but Krark's Thumb exists.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, Obeka.
Oh god, yeah, that's fucked.
I think if the end the turn one resolves first, though, then you don't get anything. Because it exiles all the triggers on the stack, because you ended the turn. So if you go extra turn, end the turn, you just get 1 extra turn. But you just, so long as you don't flip, end the turn first.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then,
Still, should not exist. Do not print this card ever.
Not at all. Not at all. And then we have Elvaril with Archimedes, the Flame of Syracuse.
Where's this? Oh, here it is. I see
next
it.
one, yeah. An Azorius 0/1. Oh, it's Jeskai. It's Jeskai. For 2 mana, target creature attacks you this turn if able. It can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or greater this turn. Attacks us. Creatures with Defender you control have whenever an attacking creature deals combat damage to this creature deals X damage to the controller of the attacking creature, where X is the difference between this creature's toughness and the amount of damage dealt to it. If X is 0 or less, draw a card. This is... I mean, it's a flavor win because it's hilariously overcomplicated. Yeah,
I'm sad this card has nothing to do with buoyancy. or screws.
It does, because if I toss you in the river, you'll fucking float. When I chuck you in a lake, you will float. All right. So this has, I'm going to make you hit my defender. When you hit my defender, I will deal damage to you. So it's reverse propaganda. I'm going to make you punch me, and then I'm going to boing flip. If you are able to kill my thing, I get a card. That is cute. It's cute, and I think once it's banding. As soon as you understand it, sure, funny. Holy words.
Yeah.
Also, Roy... Oh, go ahead. Go off.
This is also really funny. I wish they printed more effects that are like target creature attacks you if able, because I really do like Kazul.
Mm-hmm.
So this being said, defender, I think there has to be a cleaner way to word this.
There has to be, and we're not going to find out about it. In the interest of time, I'm going to leave it at, exactly. I like the idea. Please, we must take Archimedes to grammar school. And then, Elk, I miscounted on Madras, so we have 2 others that we have to do. We have
Splendid.
Exorcism Glyph, which is a 4-mana artifact snare. The snare cost is 2. God damn it. When this artifact ETBs or is turned face up, exile target opponent's graveyard. For each card exiled this way, gain a life and make a 2/1 enchantment creature token with reach and death touch. Then sack the artifact.
Ah.
No, I'll be the first. Flatly no. Yeah, what the fuck, indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, no. It needs to say like 1 or more, or for each creature card.
Yeah.
Exiled this way.
You could give it a permanent type. This card reads to me, I lost my very first game of Magic to a Muldrotha player, and I have never forgiven them.
So, okay, hang on, pause. The creature doesn't have a type.
Yeah.
It should probably be a spider, based on the picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can give it a spider.
For each creature card exiled this way would make sense. I think this is still too cheap at 4 mana. I'm thinking of something like Zatzwill. Zatzwill's a 5-mana instant that makes 0/1 thralls equal to the greatest power among creatures exiled.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waste Management's another one, which is 7 mana and makes 2/2 rogues.
I am setting this one in particular on fire and moving on to Headmaster Belphegor, who is a 4-mana 5/3, who I'm sure is fair. Flying and Wither, never mind. Whenever a cleric enters, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard or go to creature. Whenever a human or cleric you control attacks a player with an empty graveyard, it gains flying until end of turn.
Just give stuff unblockable and then goads. Okay, like pretty inoffensive. It sets up the other clerics.
This is one where I'm actually mostly worried about what big naturals he has, because this is a great setup card for your cleric army and is a 1-man army. Like a 5/3 flying with Wither is killing everything forever.
No. It's not a 4-mana 5/3 with Wither. It's a 4-mana 11/9 with Wither.
Trample, Wither, first strike, and flying. Yeah. So I think this is one where either half of this card would be okay. Him being a motherfucking house would be fine, or him doing all the setup for other clerics would actually be fine. I think together it's just like anybody would look at this card and assume it was from a premium set and they were pushing it to push the premium set. We're solving, this is like VV for clerics. We're solving too many problems at once.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be able to go to creature whenever another cleric enters exile thing. Like everything in this cleric patch has already exiled everyone's graveyard forever, so yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the queue. All right, right below Archimedes is Sudsball's first redeem.
Okay.
Then we have from Sudsball, I like Death and Taxes. The Gatekeeper, 4 mana, 2/5. Permanents cannot enter from graveyards, libraries, or exile. You are casting your one spell from hand, and that's all you're getting.
Yeah, so notably, casting from exile still works, because it goes onto the stack, and then onto the battlefield. So if you cast a spell from exile, or cast a card from graveyard, like, this doesn't stop Luris.
Okay, so you can't land drop from exile, and you can't, and you can't, like, you can't reanimate, you can't tutor a creature from your library, but you can still cast exile spells.
Yeah, if someone casts Scape Shift and you flash this in, the Scape Shift does nothing. Crop Rotation doesn't work. Ramp doesn't work.
Oh,
So,
hell,
like,
I'm sold. To the gentleman who hates green.
Yeah, this is fine.
Oh, you can't flicker! Best card ever.
You can't flicker, that is true. They'll just stay in exile. If a permanent tries to change zones, it just stays in the zone it's in. Does Cascade work? Yes, because it goes on the stack. You're casting the spell. Things can enter from the stack.
Yeah, we can.
My fix is permanents cannot enter from the stack. They just stay on the stack forever.
You can't be stacked. All right, Madra, thank you for the additional 7,000 bits for another 20 cards from the Cleric deck. We are going to spend some time clearing the point redeems before we go back to that. But I like this card. Next we have Rat Fan, who's right below.
With a rat, thank God.
A companion rat. Kill this man. Their message is, I love 9-card opening hands. I'm gonna fucking get you. 3 mana, 3/2 with Menace. Each other thing that's in this guy's Bloomborough gang gets +1/+1 and has Menace. And the companion requirement is that your deck is a Bloomborough gang.
This is Kahira the Orphan Guard.
Yeah, I find this inoffensive. I'd let you do this. I would 100. You could show me this as your companion. I would be like, hell yeah. 6 mana for this dumbass. Do what you need to.
Unironically, this card might be too good. Unironically, this card might be too good for like modern and stuff. If you play a black-based control deck and you run no creatures besides, like, you run no creatures at all.
Okay, but we're talking about Commander.
And Companions is fine. I love Companions and Commander. Good job. Yes, absolutely. More yummy. More Companions, please. Yeah. If this gets printed into Modern, it's a little bit of an issue, though.
Yeah, Companions
is already very good.
Companions in a 60-card format, I am taking a claw hammer to your organs.
No, Lutri's based. That's the only companion I like. Ban all companions except for Lutri the Spell Chaser.
And then I'm trying to find... next we have one of Iron Ore's redeems. Oh, we have 3 of them, which I have found, and I'm clearing all 3. Thank you, Iron.
Where is this?
Directly below. I'm proceeding vertically in the thread. And then I'm just going into the queue and knocking them out. We need to hit a 3-minute ad break. Do you want to piss, Elk? Do you need to piss or get water?
No, I don't, but I'll happily hit my 3-minute ad break.
I will also happily hit my 3-minute ad break. And Crazy Mouse, thank you for the 5 memberships on YouTube, my friend. Welcome to Dog Heaven.
We can do what I like to do during an ad break.
Yeah, what's that?
Which is play Spellify.
What the fuck is that?
I'll link it to you. There you go. It's DM'd.
Spellify, okay.
Yeah, Spellify. So it's a it's like a Wordle like, and you have to guess the card, like Hangman rules.
Oh, okay. So I have a creature with 2 things in the mana cost. It has 3 lines of text, and it has power and toughness. It has 3 words. This is clearly Elas Ilkor.
So it has vigilance, and it's a CLE. It's not a cleric. Blank of blank.
I ripped E.
What
the fuck? Blank E, blank E, blank, blank E, blank. So
I never guess. I never guess a character. I try to get it to 0. I know this is when this creature enters. Enters.
First strike, death.
Draw a card.
Flying, life link.
This isn't a cat. It's a vigilant creature.
Okay, so we have defender. Oh, so it's wall. So it's wall here.
Oh, it's Wall of Omens.
Oh yeah, it is Wall of Omens. God damn it. Wait, guess card. Wall of Omens. I'm better than you.
Okay. So, next up, this is the hard mode now.
Okay.
This is another creature, it looks like.
Yeah.
But this one has a bit more text, and you also don't get the color of the card.
We got the color of that card?
Yeah, it's white. It had a white border.
Oh, okay.
This one's purple because you don't know what it is. Creature. So this is a creature, and it says players something or no. This is can't.
It also makes something, right? Because it has a slash. So that has to be like XX or asterisk asterisk.
Or this is don't. So it does give plus X plus something or minus something minus something.
Okay, so it gives a buff or a removal thing. It's a creature. Its type is 5 letters. What the fuck could the 5-letter type be?
So I'm very curious about the apostrophe here because this is don't or can't.
Mm-hmm.
But the what's fucking me up is this like word comma.
Right.
Creatures. Creatures. Hey, Tea Time Dem, thanks for the prime.
Hell yeah, tea time. I'm gonna guess an E. Are we putting no letters into this shit, or can we put letters in?
You can put letters in if you want, but that's like pussy shit.
It's pussy shit to play the game by the rules of the game.
Well,
okay.
I try to get it in 0.
All right, so chat saying human. We have a guess from Dirty that says Destiny Spinner. Let's see.
Yeah, this is Destiny Spinner. No, it isn't. You can't. The Destiny's not that many words. This is like Allosaurus Shepherd or something. The first line of text is that.
Oh yeah, it's not enough.
No. So.
But it's 4 letters for that first thing.
Can't be countered is the last 3.
Can't be countered. So, what would 4 letters be? It's not like
Countered. This spell can't be countered.
This spell can't be countered. Yeah. So it probably then says like spells, maybe enchantments, ENCH. No, I don't know. Maybe spells, creatures, CREATURES. That's one word too few.
CREATURENCHAM. No, so it's not enchant. It might be enchantments. Am I stupid? ENCHAMENTS. Enchantments? No.
No. So the second line, first word, what does it have to be? It has to be like.
The spell can't be countered. And then it says.
The spell can't be countered. And then does it say like.
Oh, maybe this is like flying protection from something.
But it doesn't have room for a fly. Yeah, what would the 5-letter right, protection from PROTECTION. I think that fits. The spacing is so fucking small.
PROTECTION. So it is protection from something.
Yeah.
It could be like from a color. So like it would be like blue.
Yeah, protection from blue is the only color that fits in there.
Oh, reach. Okay, this is a spider.
Okay, so reach
whenever
pro blue can't be countered.
No. So this is this third thing said separate ability. I see. Yeah. I was reading this as all one lump of text. I was so confused. I think this is the one like It's the 1/4 spider from a core set.
No, but it doesn't have the subtype can't be spider because it doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's not spider then. So okay. This creature enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. This is Mist Cutter Hydra.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, type shit.
Oh, chat was onto it as well. There we go. I try not to look at chat too much because it'll spoil it sometimes.
I look right at chat because I'm an idiot. Fuck that. All right, we did run the ad storm blast. Twitch is listen. I have to hit the ad break to prevent Twitch from auto doing ads, but me sending the ad break doesn't send ads to everybody. It really just like gets ads out of the way. Okay.
Yeah.
So next we have iron ore stuff, which is directly below wherever we just were. Yeah. So 4 mana, 5/8 with monster. You don't control this card. It untaps each upkeep and always attacks the turn player. Okay, so we're starting out by breaking the base rules of the game. Tremendous. Reach Pro-White Frenzy. At the end of each turn, this card is not blocked, put a hunger counter on it. If the card has 3 hunger counters on it, it's destroyed. Turn player gets credit, so active player. If the card is destroyed, the player that controlled it creates 2/2/2 spider tokens with reach.
Yeah, this is weird. I don't like this.
We've cooked far too close to the sun.
Yeah. Maybe this is like a thing where the player that destroyed, like, why are we adding parentheses to magic cards like without like reminder text? Like, we're clarifying rules within this. Like, this is not a design that's like workable. I think you can do something similar with like a force to attack sort of deal.
Yeah, I think this is trying to invert cards like Alexios, and I think there's something to that idea. I do not think this is the execution we would want. And your payoff is also really bad. But I guess it's all... Yeah, reverse battle is, I think, the right idea, but we have to figure out the rules text a little bit better. Alright, next we have Sphinx Brood, 2 mana, 1/3. On attack, draw a card. Your opponent then guesses the type of that card. If they get it wrong, you can search your libraries for a Sphinx card and add it to your hand. Yu-Gi-Oh! Player spotted. Yu-Gi-Oh! Player spotted. Fuck this person. If they guessed correctly, then discard that. No. If this card is destroyed, you can play a Sphinx creature from your hand without paying its mana cost. Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Player detected, opinion rejected. Fuck this card. Fuck this card completely.
No.
This is 2 mana, infinite upside. 2 mana on attack. On attack minimum. Been a Sphinx. No. Because okay, so one thing we have to.
You only search if you get it wrong.
Okay, you only search if you get it wrong. So
and you discard the card you drew.
Minimum we mill 1 card, but on death. I get to free play a fucking thing. Yeah, this is way too. Yeah, fuck this card. No. straight into the glue pit, man.
Personal show and tell. Yeah,
Subclass Samurai, 2 mana, equipped 2. Equipped creature has +1/+1 and double strike on your turn. Once per turn.
No Bushido?
Wait. Once per turn, before the equipped creature is destroyed, it can attack up to 4 times before leaving the field. It cannot attack the same target twice with these attacks. Yu-Gi-Oh! Player detected, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
That does not work. You need to be in combat to attack.
This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Player shit. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Player shit, and it's on what it wants to do is when equipped creature dies, it deals damage equal to its power to 4 different creatures, which is way too fucking good. It's way too fucking good on a 2 mana equipment.
Yeah.
You have a good one. Yeah. Or you got to go back to school. Next, we're moving to Elveril's Other Redeem, which also looks very goofy and very silly. Horatius, Captain of the Gate. 3 mana. Why'd we pick this texture for it, dog?
This is awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. It has banding and first strike.
God
Fuck
damn
you.
it.
This card's already broken. It's a legendary with banding and first strike.
3 mana, 1/3. You may block with no more than 3 creatures each combat. Horatius, Captain of the Gate, must block each combat if able. Horatius, Captain of the Gate, can block 2 additional creatures each combat.
This card's just broken. It's just broken, and it's just broken. And
No,
there's
you
nothing
said you
can
liked
fix
it. You said you liked it.
I liked how the card looked, and then I read the card, and the contents are you can't do this.
But it's so cute, man.
Banding makes combat one-sided. People are already not attacking you with 3 creatures each combat because you win combat.
Yeah.
What's banding? Don't ask. Ask a judge.
Yeah, look away. Look away.
Find a responsible
is.
adult and ask them that question. We're not equipped. Just know that it makes combat one-sided. You get to pick the damage for the bands.
Yeah, banding reads you win that combat.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you block with this and another creature that is without banding. And then you assign non-lethal damage to each of your creatures and you kill their creature.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to block 2 additional creatures each combat with fucking Horatius. Yeah, fuck you directly to hell. That's
All right, next we have Lil Evix Redeems, which is Read Erect, Deflecting Adjurer, 4 mana 2/4. On ETB, put a shield counter on it and 1 other creature you control. For blue and a tap, choose target spell which targets with mana value less than or equal to Read Erect's power. The spell's controller chooses a different target for the spell. If unable, counter it.
Yes, I like this. This is cool. So it needs to say choose a spell with 1 or more targets with mana value less than or equal to Redirect's power. Mm-hmm. Oh, his name's Redirect. That's clever. I didn't get it until I said it out loud. No, that makes sense. I like this card. This is kind of fun. I think it's a little fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, nobody likes you.
The fact that this is a 2/4 is already fine. I think he should innately not come with a shield counter.
Yeah, maybe like.
You already have to have. This already has like the Jin Gataxias thing going on, where your first spell's countered, and then the second spell gets eaten by the shield counter, and then the third removal spell does it.
Yeah.
So maybe no shield counter is my recommendation.
It's also really funny to me that you're not even getting advantage out of this. You're literally just being annoying, because you're
getting an advantage.
Well, the way I'm reading it is the person who cast the spell chooses a different target.
Yes.
Right, so they still get to do whatever thing they wanted to do. They just have to target anything else.
You can't cast Sign in Blood into this.
Right, yeah. That's the advantage.
Yeah, so like it stacks pieces certain cards like that. You can fuck over like Voltron players trying to go like protection spell on my guy, and then you go, no, put it on a different guy.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking funny. All right.
You can also do it on your own spells. So if you cast something on the Aristocrats player thing, and they're like, I'm gonna sacrifice my dude, and then you go, hang on, I'm gonna change my targets now to something real.
All right, and then we also have Redo, which is a 1 mana counter a spell. If you counter a spell this way, the spell's controller copies it and may choose new targets for the copy. You also get to draw a card. This is literally you just want to interrupt somebody. I mean, there's upside you can do here if you have like a Baral deck, or you get like as soon as you get money just for casting more spells. Hell yeah. Until then, this literally just says, I would like to be able to talk during your turn.
This wins the game with Approach of the Second Sun.
Of course you went there. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to ban Elk real quick.
So you pay for Approach of the Second Sun, and then you counter it with Redo.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's countered, but you get the copy of Approach of the Second Sun, and you cast an Approach of the Second Sun, Am I wrong here? Like, does it have like a if you cast it trigger?
It does. It does. I believe approach says if you cast it, but this still gets fucked up with, as people are pointing out in chat.
And you cast another. Okay.
Uncounterable spells.
It doesn't work like Narset's reversal does. Narset's reversal works because you can put the approach back into your hand and then recast it.
Yeah.
You can still do some Narset's reversal bullshit with the redo, though. If you have like a Snapcaster Mage heavy deck, you can cast Worst Fears or another card that exiles itself when it resolves, and then you counter it with redo, and then you Snapcaster back the original. So like, Worst Fear says exile it as it resolves, and then you just go like dink. You can counter that, and then you can Snapcaster the original. So like, or Mizzix's Mastery or whatever. So it has application. This card's actually kind of cool.
What if I hit you? Next, we have
Shy Disciple the Drowned.
Yeah, we have She Lovebirds card, which is Curled Cards, a 4-mana red spell that says each opponent bridge shuffles their deck. Perfect, no notes. You could even take a mana off this.
Great, awesome. This could be 1 red mana.
Yeah, 1 red mana, and then you just have to, how quickly can you run a mile? Marty, thank you for the 100 bits to cry out no. We're still making you do it.
Well, you can concede the game at any time, Marty, so don't worry. If you don't want to fold your Gaia's Cradle in half, you're more than welcome to concede the game while it's on the stack.
All right, and then we have 3 redeems from Smokey. Let me clear these out of the queue. These are TF2 cards.
I was a competitive Team Fortress 2 player. I'm ashamed to admit.
Oh my god, that explains so much. All right, Red Scout, a 2-mana blue creature. When this creature blocks or is blocked, deals a damage. At end of combat, if this creature blocked but did not take damage, tap target creature and opponent controls. I mean, common's correct, for sure.
If this creature blocked but took no damage, tap. Okay, so you're supposed to like combat trick this thing, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like weird. It's meant to, like, you know, all those like fucking unusable blue combat tricks they print into every draft set. That's like, oh, target creature gets -3, -0. This is that fucking guy.
When I think of the scout, it should be like double jump. It has it flying while attacking or whatever. Then it does some bullshit. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. I'll trust you.
I've never played TF2, so I will.
Scout is like the fastest base speed character in the game, and they have a double jump, so they can like double jump all around you. And they actually do really good damage because Scattergun's fucking broken. But when this creature blocks or is blocked, it deals 1 damage at the end of combat. So you're supposed to, if you Maze of Ith it.
Yeah, or if somebody swings something with 1 toughness into you because they are dumb and have not read your custom cards, then you can blow that up and not take damage. But even that is just an onboard. The person has to give that to you on purpose. All right, and then if we go to the next one, we have Blue Scout, which is the offensive team. So this is the 2-mana red one too. Same line of text, except at end of combat, if it was blocked but took no damage, deal 1 to the blocking creature's controller.
These 2 effects are just in different leagues.
Yeah. It turns out, hey Elk, how many times... Oh, never mind. I thought this said draw a card because it was blue and I wanted it to make me happy. Forget it. Forget about it.
This creature is blocked but took no damage. It deals 1 damage to the blocking creature's controller. Yeah, like keeping the thing tapped down. I just don't like this last line of text. They feel weird. Like it feels like really old Magic to me.
Yeah, and hey, it's correct. They're commons and therefore unplayable. And if we go to Jeremy Willis the Scout, a 3-mana Izzet thing with haste and 2/2. Team tactics. If mana of only 1 color was used to pay for a mana cost on this card, this creature deals double damage until end of turn. Okay, so this is only on the turn that this ETBs. When the scout blocks or is blocked, deals 2 damage to blocked or blocking creature. And you can Maze of it. You can reconnaissance it.
Okay. So this is 3 mana. It does 4 when it hits someone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
So this is like very cute flavor win. My only complaint here would be you can't ever use this. You make this your commander and you go like, look at how cool and flavorful this is. I'm dead.
You could, yeah. It's I would say good flavor win. Yeah. It doesn't do anything though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and blue for Scout. Okay, in case you don't know, Wald, Scout has lead poisoning. He is incredibly stupid, and not as stupid as Soldier.
Oh well,
Blue
then this
kind of
card
feels
makes
weird.
sense. This looks like a guy. This card reads like it has lead poisoning, so that's just an even bigger flavor dub. I'm fine with that.
At the very least, Scout doesn't know how to read. I'm pretty sure.
Definitely not.
So, yeah, it just doesn't do enough. I think if you take inspiration from Gingerbrute, Gingerbrute has a really cute flavor win where it has haste and it can't be blocked except by creatures with haste because he's too fast. And I think that's a really cute flavor for the Scout here.
Yeah, it can only be blocked by a certain type of motherfucker.
Yeah. Only if you're fast enough to catch the Scout can you block him. And then,
yeah, I like that. I like that.
A big thing about Scout is he caps objectives twice as fast.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can do something like that.
This creature only has to deal 10 commander damage to win. Then he can compete, motherfucker.
Give him in-text.
Oh yeah, lead poisoning! Lead poisoning!
Lead poisoning, and also he caps twice as fast. No, I see the vision.
Yeah. I think we do that then. Okay.
Yeah, Bonk is another thing. He can be invulnerable. I don't know. There's a lot of shit I could explain, but like, it's not worth the time.
Pika Puff, thank you for the 19 months at tier 1, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. Just joined. What's the best card we've seen so far?
Bridge shuffle your entire library.
Yeah, bridge shuffle your opponent's fucking decks. I like that Grixis wheel commander or the Esper, the combat damage set from Nathiater.
The Esper one that's like revealed shell game them is hilarious.
Yeah.
That card's so cool.
All right, and then we have redeems from Whitebread. Also, Madra, thank you for the additional 3,500 bits. So we're up to 30 more cards from Cleric Nation. All right, next we have Flygon. We're still proceeding vertically at this time.
I love Flygon.
He's cute. Whitebread's done a lot of Pokemon, and they typically vary between like very cool and just obscenely broken. All right, for each opponent, we had a red aura enchantment named Sandstorm attached to target land or artifact they control. It has enchant, land or artifact, and whenever enchanted permanent becomes tapped, mana barbs. If enchanted permanent is a land, it becomes a desert. Flygon gets +1/+1 for each desert. Yeah, that seems chill. I kind of like that. Voltrons, it gives itself semi-permanent Voltron by like, oh, well, I'll make your lands deserts, which will Voltron my guy, and if I have to replay him, fine. Oh, for each. Ooh. Yeah, it is a 6/6 the first time it swings.
Yeah, it is a 6/6 the first time it swings. I understand why it has flying, and I understand why it has desert. It probably shouldn't have Desert Walk, is my opinion. As funny as Desert Walk is.
I think you might have to make this do it to defending player. Giving it to each is just like so quickly permanent lethal. Because like you kill it, oh no, the Naya player counted to 6, it comes back, it's a big creature again. And this also lets it duck a ton of, like, no board clear is ever touching this thing. It may be thematic that no mosquito net can ever interact with it, but once it has attacked twice, it's a 9/9. Assuming you have played no deserts, if you the player have played any deserts, then it's even bigger. But it's like first, not even first, but one of the few commanders that you could be like, oh yeah, Blasphemous Act is one-sided in my deck.
I like the desertification. That's fun, but yeah, it should just be defending player, and then you can't do it where it enters or attacks. So if it's defending player, but like I think like target land gets the desert.
Yeah. Enters or attacks one target land. I could kind of see that.
It's a 4/4, then it's a 5/5, which makes sense because it's green.
Yeah. 4 out of 5/5 with more upside, exactly. All right, then White Bread's next card, Decapula, Trap Master, everything but green. A flying 3/3. Instants and sorceries in your hand gain foretell. Their foretell costs are equal to their mana cost. You may cast foretold sorceries as if they had flash. Ooh. Creature cards in your hand gain disguise. Their disguise cost is their mana cost. When you flip a disguised creature card, if that creature has a triggered ability when entering, that ability triggers. Okay, so you just want to be real shitty the whole time.
So actually, this is really easy to fix. It's the last ability doesn't work, but what you can just do is like have it exile itself and re-enter.
Yeah.
When you flip whenever a creature you control is turned face up, you may exile it if you do return to the battlefield under its owner's control. It gains haste until end of turn, maybe.
Yeah, gain haste that we don't fucking non-bow things that swing. Because you'd want to be able to... Well, I think... Yeah, actually, that's fine. That's fine.
You can't flip them. Yes, because they don't have a morph ability. But they are a face-down creature. So... Oh, but creature cards in your hand gain disguise. How does this work with the rules? Like, you have to reveal it.
Listen, we have... When we're doing custom cards, I think we have to accept fuck the rules. If we see the vision, let's judge the vision. We can't teach people... We can't be English teachers at the same time we're handling this. Because the rules are very specific and extremely pedantic. So I think
you need to be... The issue I'm having is you need to cloak cards in your hand.
Right. So it lets us turn everything into Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card, right? Every creature in our hand can be played face down. It can be flipped while still giving us an ETB. I think that's the point. And then everything in our hand, our instants and sorceries can be foretold, and all of those can be played at instant speed.
I think you can discount the instants and sorceries if you pay the 2. Paying the 2 to give your instants and sorceries flash is dog shit.
Yeah. Also, Little Mixed Doom, thank you for the 500-bit cheer. Linear equation cannon, please. What?
Huh?
This is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. The hell's going on here? Just Google it? I did. Oh, you made a submission of it. Okay, yeah.
Nathiator 3 for 10 community subs.
God bless you, Nathiator.
Thanks for the gifts. Blessed day. Yeah, no, I like this design. I think it's weak.
Yeah, I do think it's weak. Well, somebody in your chat pointed out, I cloak for 2, I flicker, here's Emrakul.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, moving on.
Vanafor already does that.
Yeah, that's true. But now you do it without green. Which is based. All right, next we have Ursula Sea Witch, a 5-mana Dimir 3/6 with Shroud. ETB or attack. Target creature an opponent controls loses all other card types and becomes a saga. With 1, you make a tap treasure. 2, you lose life equal to this permanent's mana value. 3, target opponent who owns Ursula creates a copy of this permanent, except it's a creature and loses all other card types. I'm gonna fall asleep.
This is kind of cool. So it's like Ursula makes like contracts or whatever. If my, what is it now? Jesus, 16-year-old viewing, like as in like 16 years ago, I watched The Little Mermaid. Remembers correctly. So like, you make a contract and then like, I think maybe you make Ursula have like, in my opinion, if I were to design an Ursula card, you'd give her like a tempting offer kind of ability. That would be kind of fun.
I like the offer. This currently reads as I play this, and then all of your creatures are fucked.
Yeah, it is a repeatable murderous Chupacabra. It's a Grimgrin with Shroud.
But it does make, I guess it loses life, so we are kind of pushing things forward. I can accept this. It seems like day-night levels of frustrating for people to pay attention to, and I think could be made a little bit better if we made this like an offer. No, the Shroud is perfect. What if she inks? What if she fucking inks, you guys? Be respectful.
Oh, Shroud is funny. But what if she enters or attacks, you put a cursed counter or cursed roll on something? That makes sense for Ursula. Using the roll tokens from Wild's Veldrain. And then whenever a creature an opponent controls with a cursed roll counter dies, you get it. And they lose life, maybe like 2 life or something.
Okay.
Like that could feel like a more realistic approach for this. I feel like making a saga is a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
It currently stands.
All right, then, okay, nice and easy one next. Pyro Ant, 1 mana, 1/1 with Mountain Walk. It's also a dork that deals a damage to you. I think that's fine.
You should just, like, I like Mountain Walk's funny. Just take off Mountain Walk. This is a perfect card. Red Llanowar Elves is already great.
Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves. Shut up. Madra, thank you for the additional 3,000 bits to fill out the Cleric deck review. And then next we've got Focused Barrage, 3 mana Jeskai Sorcery. Each creature you control with Prowess deals 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. If a Prowess ability you control would trigger this turn, it triggers an additional time. So this is
totally fine.
Yeah, this is very expensive to finish off a game with a, like, if you had like an aligned heart board, if you had that new Elsha, like if you have a board of shitty prowess creatures and you're just like, fuck it, I need Jeskai Craterhoof. This is like Moonshaker Cavalry, your Jeskai Craterhoof. Hell yeah. I like that.
If your board is in a winning position, you get to win more, and that's all you can really ask for. Like, it's brilliant. Great job. You did it. This design's totally fun.
Hire
it's
them.
Fun, though.
I like it. This would be the type of thing I would be excited to try to play in Jeskai.
Yeah.
Also,
there's a lot to ask for more spells after it. Have you played fucking Jeskai?
Yeah.
Cairns?
Not after I'm mana geyser, you dumb son of a bitch. Also, Katazumi, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Welcome back to Dog Heaven, my friend. I appreciate you very much. All right, I see a dolphin. Citizen, hero in the making. 3 mana whale citizen. 3 mana 3/4. No, fuck you. And is it? We don't get that.
Maybe it's downside.
Mask up. 6 mana. If it would be returned to its owner's hand, exile it instead. You may cast it transformed. Oh, it transforms. Okay, flip turn. Deal damage equal to its power to target creature, then return it to your hand. So flip turn into mask up. What the fuck does this turn into? A 7/7 with first strike and haste. Beautiful. No fucking notes. On attack, deal damage equal to its power to each creature defending player controls.
It's Balefire Dragon. So maybe
Balefire Dragon has to hit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Balefire Dragon has flying.
Balefire Dragon. Balance sold separately.
No. Chat's freaking out. You have to spend 9 mana to flip this.
Yeah, you do have to spend a lot to flip him. You do have to spend quite a bit. Let me see how hard it would be.
Yeah, why does it need first strike is a very good question. Their board is gone.
Alright. Alright, apparently the source Pokemon's broken, so who cares? Now we have... Oh, back on the theme of Mardu Manlove. It's Cloud and Sephiroth. 6 mana 7/5.
Oh, man.
Equipped creatures have haste and indestructible. Now job select will finally be good. At the beginning of combat, you may sack a non-token creature. If you do, make a 7/5 red mercenary, then make a token copy of an equipment you control and give it to him. Go fuck yourself, man. Whitebread fucking tricked us with the fucking little ant, with the little Jeskai card, with Ursula. It was all a fucking ploy to get us to this motherfucker.
So this is just insane.
Yeah, flat no. Hey, flat no. Go to hell.
The tempo is nuts. We sacrifice a non-token creature. Then create a token that's a copy of equipment. There's something broken here. It is 6 mana.
Shut the fuck up. At some point, I ramp. I play Steve normal guy, and I play the Buster Sword. On turn 5, Steve normal guy turns into a mercenary holding the Buster Sword, and I tell you to kiss my ass.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Any sort of blank and blank, and then there's just a player playing that color combo or less.
Yeah.
They turn into paste. They explode as you do 18 damage to them.
And this is Whitebread's normal bag. It's just, what if it was ridiculous? I could genuinely see this at like 8 mana, right? 8 mana is power fantasy mana for Magic the Gathering. And so if this was 8 mana in Mardu, it has to just rock the fucking world. At 6, this is like very reasonable. This is the type of 6 mana card that radicalizes motherfuckers against a Soul Ring. Turn 1 Soul Ring curves into this guy and Buster Sword. I kill you, bro. I kill you.
Yeah,
right.
I think 7 might be fine. But yeah, we're basically saying the same thing.
Okay. So that's the end of Whitebread's redeems. Before we either move on vertically or jump back into the toxic yaoi of clerics, Elk, let's have a strategy meeting, because this stream has been much more successful than I intended off rip.
Yeah, this appears to be a very long event.
Well, let's get it out there now. I think there is no way we can service every redeem today. I think just flatly we have like I have liked all the, let me see how we're gonna do. We have 36, 54. We have 77 channel point redeems. We have, I think, an additional 50 cards from Madra. I think we have triple digit cards from Elikman. So there's over 200 cards. There's like an entire set review, and Hellcat has just bought 4 additional ones. Elik's not even done yet. So I think what we should do is...
Yeah, can I get a W-2?
Right.
Give me some health insurance. We're gonna be here for a while.
I will give you a 1099. That's the best I can do. So what we're probably gonna do is we're probably gonna have to cap for the day. We need to figure out how much more time you can spend, and then I think we need to schedule a new one, and some number of the redeems from today will have to be serviced on that day, just so that we can avoid scrambling for it when our jaws have fully given out. So I'm gonna...
Yeah, I think let's finish off the hour. I'd say I have to get into my deck review stream today at some point as well.
Elk has
and then we have
own...
the thing later as well.
Okay, so it's 2:13 right now. We're going to finish off the hour, and then we will do an additional stream. I have been, if you submitted a card review, I have been clearing from the stream as we answer them, and so we will have permanent tracking of what you have left. So don't worry about, oh my god, we're gonna lose mine. All right, so we'll be doing another one of these very soon. I'm gonna hit a 1-minute ad break as I get water and I piss. I'm gonna write up Elk's 1099, and then we'll finish out the hour. And let's jump back into Elikman. Jump back in with Elikman stuff. Whitebread, thank you for the 10 biddies. Whitebread has one more.
Yeah, do you want to kill clerics this stream?
It depends. So Madra and Elikman as the two people who as the two largest celestial bodies in this stream. it depends on. I think we can either kill all of Clerics and do all of Elix on a different stream, or we can do part of Elix and then leave like half Clerics, half Elic for the secondary stream. And so I will allow the two of you to drop any thoughts you have about which you would prefer while I go piss girl and hit the 1 minute ad break.
Yeah, I will do the same, actually.
Excellent. We'll be right back.
I'm back before Mold. I'm the better streamer. Hello. Okay, who are the poor souls that have a deck review for me today? I feel so bad because this did go longer than I was expecting. I might just right now refresh my deck review slots because we have 263 shared viewers. So this is very good promotion time. You should just design your own custom cards until Malt gets back. I have designed my own custom cards before. There's like, just like I have an idea I put into paper just in case I ever want to yoink it for a cube or something. How does one get an Elk certified deck review? I'm glad you asked. That's my coffee link. And you can just go there and give me money. You need to go through the commissions, of which there are 6 slots per stream. It's for next week.
I'm out of kombucha, you guys. It's a fucking disaster. It's a fucking disaster. Oh, I don't have my headphones in.
Believe it or not, my internet's very slow right now. I wonder why.
Believe it or
on
not.
Top of the Discord call.
Where the fuck did your camera go?
Oh shit! I accidentally closed the wrong window.
Oh, oh shit! Oh fuck! I will resend you. I will resend you an invite.
It's been known to occur.
There's so many times because I don't use a third-party restreamer anymore, and so I have Twitch and YouTube chat open on. I'm so dumb. I haven't had TikTok chat popped out. I'm gonna fucking.
There we go.
I'm sorry, you guys. You're popped out now. I can see you. So everybody on TikTok, they're closed for today. We're gonna do this again. They're through Twitch channel points. Connor, I'm so sorry. I went live on TikTok at the beginning of stream and then promptly forgot. Anyway. Okay, Elk is back. Beautiful.
Yeah, Kingo asked a very important question for my well-being, so I will answer it. If you have a deck review with me today and you are European or whatever, and it's like, I'm going to fall asleep, you can either get a refund, DM me, or more likely, just show up on any future deck review stream and we can review your deck then. Makeups are very lax. You just come and say, hey, yo, I submitted last week, and then you can get your review then. This is very spur of the moment. This whole stream. It's working out very well though, as far as I can tell.
It's massive success. Massive fucking success. Thank you, Elk, for being here and sacrificing yourself upon the altar of our collective chat's creativity. But yeah, this is a lot of, we are going to do this again and regularly. White Bread, thank you for the 10-bit cheer. I found it. Elk, there's one more card from White Bread further down. I will send it directly to you, but you don't have to scroll. And I'm popping a fucking cough drop in, gang. I'm locked in. I've sent it directly to you. This is Henzi. Henzi and Philia. 4 mana, no blue, 4/4. Flash on attack. Put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Put a counter on this creature. Sack that creature. Triggered abilities of creatures you control entering. Trigger an additional time for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone. Just fucking hit me with the nuke, man.
So first time it's a, oh my god. So first time it's a Panharmonicon, or it's an Elish Norn Mother Machine's personal. You don't stack your opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's only creatures. Okay. That second ability is pretty fucking good. On a flash creature too? Oh.
Okay. Elk.
The flash is really good. Oh, what's up? Sorry?
The flash is very, very good. And then trigger, I think like I would not play this because I don't play ETBs because I want to go to heaven. But triggered abilities going off an additional time for each time I've cast my commander, I feel like alone wins, right? You just ramp and sack this dumbass, and then you have some good ETB, you get thrice.
Yeah, it's the flash is really what's making this card a little too strong, but it makes sense for Felia. I think maybe you kind of have to axe the last part. I think you need to find something else that fits Felia. Because I'm the Felia enjoyer. I'm saying this is too good.
Mm-hmm.
Tapped and attacking, then put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Sacrifice that creature at end of combat. So it's like Ilharg on that ability.
It's very cute.
It is very cute.
If you just axe flash, yeah, sure, fuck it.
Yeah. It sucks because flash is like kind of inherent to Felia's fucking bullshit. So it sucks to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
At first pass of the card, I'm vibing with the idea. It's very fun, of course, because it's a mauled elk reference.
Yeah, no, it's highly adorable. All right, from here now we're going to move into we're going to do what we can for Elegmant stuff, which is the Age of Sigmar custom set. So let me find where that starts, and then I will direct you to it. Okay. So first there are some saltines, which is what a term Alec and I came up with for just like good, solid, generic card. I'm going to pull these one-offs for you so that you don't have to scroll like bejesus. If you just try to look for the parts where they submitted big sets, that's where we will start after we are done with their one-offs.
Now we have the good shit with the tilde and a smirk, which is a little too much like sex action for an Age of Sigmar player. By the way, everyone in chat, I'm gonna plug while Maul's doing the stuff. I have refreshed the slots for next week's Tuesday stream. So if you want to get your deck reviews for that, you can do so at that coffee link that's in chat. So this card you posted is the one we're looking at?
Yeah, the one I just sent you.
Okay. Also, this is fucked up, Kingo. I don't know if you're still here. Kingo was my username for the longest time. That is entirely serendipity. That's the name of my fucking computer. When I got that, I got a deck review submission from Kingo something, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Kingo something, my favorite. My very favorite.
Sorry, I meant if we can go first with mine today. Absolutely, Kingo. After we're done with this, you can go first. You get the European priority.
So that one. Dude, I love Euro privilege. All right.
How often are the custom streams done? This is brand
This is
fucking
the
new.
first one, and genuinely,
we are fucking Sisyphus.
my internal
right now.
internal heuristic was if this is good every other week, if this is middling once a month, if it is terrible ad hoc. With how it's going right now, this is probably an every other week thing, occasionally once a month if I am otherwise busy. All right. So we have PhD thesis with cool art, very small font. Surely this should have told us something on the way. Oh, I'm going to redock us. All right, a 4-mana 4/3, Death Touch, Haste, and Reach. Whenever you commit a crime, you get an experience counter. Whenever an opponent commits a crime against you, you get 2 experience counters. On attack, return any number of target creatures with total power less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Sack them at end of turn. Immediately no. I'm Vine booming this.
So, okay. You get an experience counter. You get 2 experience counters. Return any number of target creatures.
I think
this isn't like the most egregious thing in the world. This is just like Master of Cruelties is a 1-power creature that I don't mind getting back, and she re-graveyards them.
Right.
So you get
ETB, you get damage trigger potentially, you get death trigger, but you get ETB and damage every single time. And because she has death touch, you never want to fucking block her. Like, I think you have to take death touch from her so that it's possible for other people to be like, okay, I blocked the 4/3. Whereas
what's fucked up is the fact that she re-sacrifices them is upside.
Yeah. If you exiled the cards, as Exotech is saying, I think that's a way to bring it in line a little bit more, because then you just
finality
can't.
counters.
Yeah. Oh, finality counters! Finality counters! They saved us. They've saved us again. I think finality counters could bring this back, yeah, because then you actually have to have an engine going rather than just I have buried alive 2 extremely good creatures. I would like
this
them.
works with Death Shadow. You Nethroy tax evasion.
Oh yeah. You can Nethroid tax evasion. That's cute though. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to the message from Elikman at 1236, which is the Common Rider section, which is revised. So the series is snacks and food are the theme. They're all going to have food synergy. Historically, the food synergy has been, what if I made a food token and it won me the game?
So what is the time again? Sorry.
12:36 p.m. for my time. If you're in a different, I'm PST. So if you're in a different,
oh yeah, so 1 hour.
So
ahead.
1:36 p.m. for you.
Okay, great. I was so confused.
So the first 3 are ones that I've
I
seen, and then we've revised. These are going to be in pairs because they all transform. And so it's like,
I see.
So the first is Shuma Ino, Red Gav, a Selesnya creature that's a 2/3 with trample, ETB, or when it transforms into this guy. Oh, thank you so much, babe.
It's really hot.
I appreciate it. Excellent. Thank you. Maximum Power 420, a legitimate salvage and majestical ostrich. Thank you for the Twitch follows. Welcome to the doghouse. Okay. ETBs or transforms into this guy, make a food. If 1 or more foods would be made, make that many +1. When you sack 1 or more foods, transform him. He becomes a... so many words. He becomes a 5/4 with trample. When this creature transforms, your non-creature foods become minion artifact creatures named Gochizo, with base power and toughness 0/1. Sack a food to regenerate, sack 2 to put 3 counters on him, or sack 3 to draw a card, activate only as a sorcery. I don't like this, mainly because of the
This is worse than like a planeswalker. Like this is like an entire planeswalker deck in one permanent.
This has terminal doing too much syndrome. Yeah, you can also tap it to transform back. Like this genuinely would have been balanced by a word count limit because none of the individual abilities are too good, but all in one card we have I make food myself. I turn into a beater who can become bigger via the food I made, who can make me a board of blockers or potential overrun targets via the food I made, or I have a draw engine via the food I made. Like it's covering too many bases. You normally want a commander to be a value engine where it's like, via this gameplay loop, I get to cover a base, like a pillar of the game. And this just covers like every pillar of the game.
Yeah, I think a big thing with like Universes Beyond style cards is you don't have to capture everything the character does, just like the most notable feature. Like you don't need like imagine if we didn't have 12 Gandalf cards and all of the Gandalf cards were just on one card.
Yeah.
Is kind of how this feels.
Mm-hmm. Wanted to capture the idea of form changing without having to make a million separate cards that all represent the side grade forms the character gets until caking. See, I think the thing is that's what you do have to do because of the Gandalf syndrome that Alec just talked about. Like if we wanted to have a Universes Beyond that accurately captured a character and we only got the one card, every Universes Beyond product would be as broken as doomers on Reddit want you to think there are. But yeah, this is why we have 4 clouds. That's why we have multiple Sephiroths, why we have multiple Gandalfs, multiple Sarumans. Every like beloved creature in media has a lot going on. Too much going on for a single card adaptation. And so I like you could, if you axed half of the lines from this card at random and you showed me 10 different iterations of that, I would probably just flatly like it. And so I think it's just we have to split it into side grades or have multiple versions. Also, Max Power, thank you for the Prime sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. I appreciate that. And Splicer Cal, thank you for the Prime sub as well. And for kicking off that hype train. I appreciate those Jeffrey dollars. Okay. Next common rider creation. Anto Karakita, the Bitter Truth. 3 mana Mardu 2/3 first strike. Whenever this creature enters, attacks, or transforms, make a food. 2 mana sack a food, transform her.
Yeah, I don't like all the hybrid symbols. I think people are addicted to hybrid symbols on custom cards.
But if it doesn't always show every color of the mana, how will you know that it represents all of the different types of energy they have?
All right, let's flip this thing.
4/5 first strike. Sack a food. Valen gets +2/+0. Sack a food. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to permanents you control. Exhaust sack a food. Deal damage equal to power to target non-land permanent.
Okay, so if you just have a fuckload of food, you just... Okay, it doesn't go to a player, though.
No, it doesn't go to a player. So if you have... So I think the ways you would make this quote-unquote broken... you make a food by transforming. You pay 2 mana to sack a food. You transform it again. You exhaust... Yeah, you can like one-sided board wipe, but you go food negative unless you have a token doubler. And it does require mana to do. So you need it to be like mana positive to sack these foods, or you need a token doubler, or you need like a token tripler and to be ash nodding something. So I think it's the ceiling is relatively constrained. I think the first draft had like trample or something, which was fucked up. Because then I was like, oh, doesn't this just Voltron kill somebody as soon as you flip it? And they were like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you got rid of the second ability, not sacrifice a food, get +2/+0, but first strike, sack a food, but then the second sack a food ability, this card would just feel like a normal card. The front side is a little bit awkward. Enters, attacks, or transforms is just like so clunky to me. Like this is just like a vibe thing though. So
too many words
like...
for the poor Flickr player's brain. They were like, wait, but you already said enters. That's the important thing. Shouldn't it? It's done. It's done.
Yeah, you could just save yourself some text if it says exile this and then return to the battlefield transformed on the back, and then this doesn't have to say enters, attacks, or transforms. So you can just say enters or attacks.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right, next we have Lakia Amalga, Seeker of Vengeance. Esper 3/3 with reach. Whenever this creature enters, becomes tapped or transforms, create a food. Becomes tapped immediately worries me.
Yeah.
2 mana sack again, we get to transform. What do we become? Vram, Pudding Custom. 5/5 with reach, sack a food for Vram to phase out, so you're never killing this thing. Sack a food, tap or untap a creature. Creatures you control untapped this way cannot be blocked until end of turn. Activate only during your turn. Exhaust, sack a food, destroy all tapped creatures you control. Okay. I like that this one cannot transform itself back because this exhaust would make me lose my fucking mind. It would
actually be infinite if it could transform itself back. Because you log all the sacking of food thing to tap or untap it. So you go tap, untap, tap, untap. Like you put all those on the stack targeting Vram, and then you tap him to transform him, and he comes back to this side. And then you just ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
and then you can reflip him by sacking a food, and then for every 2 mana you spend, basically you can get plus X food, where X is the number you control.
I can kind of accept this one. I feel like I'm worried about play pattern, but I'm not as worried about power. Shit, it was supposed to be there, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. Yeah, so you take that away, and then I think this one, because the thing is, you're also an Esper, and so if you flicker a transformed creature, does it come back on the front side?
Yes, but all those will be, it's a new object, so they're not targeting him anymore.
Okay. Well, so I'm talking about getting it right. So I think that's good. I think the Esper one, should be forced to use a flicker spell to get him back to the front. I think you should have to do that shit. And that way it negates the tap-untap stacking. Also, Zenorum, thank you for the 100 bits. It depends on how long it takes. We're going until the top of the hour, and then Elk has to do their job for the day, and the rest we're going to hold over for a future stream that we're going to schedule as soon as Elk is done working for the day. Yeah. Okay, but this one I can accept. I'm just worried about somebody doing oops all board wipes. Next we have, I'm closing all the extra ones. Shoma, Steadfast Friend. Oh, we did make another one of the first guy, but this one's Naya, and therefore must be even more better. A 4-mana 3/3 Trample Vigilance. Same ETB attacker transform, make a food. You also create an additional food. At the beginning of combat, you sack 6 foods if you do transform Shuma. Okay, so Elk, what do you think the spread is on the transform being when this transforms, you win the game and get a back rub?
Okay, so enters, attacks, or transforms. So you get 1 food. If one more food token, so you need to attack with it twice after it entering, barring the fact that green and white make food up the ass.
Right, you fill this man with hobbits.
So yes, okay. Surely it's not that broken on the back.
Surely.
Okay.
Gav
Trample vid.
Caking. Yeah, trample vid. On transform or attack, make a 2/2 food soldier creature token with vigilance and food text. Sacrifice X. Search your library for an equipment card with mana value X. Equipment you control have equip food 0. Now, notably, Gav is not a food, which is
that's
good.
kind of cool. I like that you can equip it to your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the Sunforger deck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is probably fine. It enters, you make a food, attack. Once it flips and you have 6 foods, you actually have more foods because you get a 2/2 food. Yeah, you can just get Sunforger and equip it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you search your. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. That's a very good point, little MX Doom. Sacrifice X foods. You search your library for an equipment with mana value X. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You don't even shuffle after. You just like you found it in your library and it stays there. It needs to instruct you to put it into your hand and then shuffle. I imagine it's going into your hand.
Oh right. Yeah. Yeah. Probably go into hand. I like that it works with the other Gav. But if we do, I think that could work. I think this one, because I know part of the intent is we want there to be a reason that you have to flip them back and forth. That's why they all have that like tap to transform them again. I feel like this one, even though it's a pretty good thing, the stuff you do is so food intensive that the card doesn't really incentivize flipping. The card incentivizes you fill this motherfucker with every Lord of the Rings card you can find.
Yeah. I think a big criticism I have of all these is just like look at how Lord of the Rings did food in Abzan and like try to match the word count. Now they are double-faced cards, but at least try to match the word count on both sides of the card.
It's another casualty of we're capturing like 2 to 3 cards worth of energy within the confines of one double-faced card, which is just always hard. And so I think what this deck wants to do, I can see that vision and I like that vision. But it's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then Little Mix Doom, thank you for the bits. We'll consider it, but we don't have very much time left, and I think it just makes the tracking a fucking nightmare. Okay, next on the Common Rider spree, we have Dark Shuma, Reckless Glutton, Golgari 2/3, Menace, Devour Food 1. So Devour 1 for food. At the beginning of combat, if you sacked 4 or more foods, you get something.
Okay, keep in mind he keeps the counters. So
True.
So he enters, you maybe have like an 8/9 on the back.
Menace Trample. When it transforms, make X mutant food artifact creature tokens named Bitter Gochizo, where X is the counters on. Oh, so you immediately. Oh, I don't like that you immediately refund all of your foods. This is like, what if my.
Go ahead.
What if my investment into Dark Shuma instantly paid off? When there was no time delay between me investing food into this guy and getting food back, except now they were creatures.
Yeah, if you devour food, because you can devour as many food as you want. So you play Dark Shuma after like doing some insane bullshit with Guillaume or whatever, and then on the other side, you sack like 10 food on him entering. He flips into a 15/16 and makes you
10 food that are also creatures.
Yeah.
And then if you so non-food creatures become food, I think that's fine. Whenever you sack a food, put a counter on Bitter Gav. Yeah, I think that could do something. I think either the Devour food or him refunding has to just straight up disappear. Just like go completely away. And then you have something fine. Because then you can do this weird like food aristocrat, like Yigra business combined with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I'm not saying this is more broken than Yigra with Cauldron Familiar, but this is like this with Cauldron Familiar and a sack outlet is... Oh, no. This is infinite with Cauldron Familiar, and it does it better than Yigra. Whenever you sacrifice a non-food creature, Cauldron Familiar, you make a food token that brings the familiar back. So this is just infinite Ingolgari with the familiar.
Yeah.
Which is something you have to consider if you want that to be part of your design. I'm not saying it's a design mistake per se, but that's something you need to be like, that's how people are going to use this card.
It's one of the few that wasn't intended to flip back, which was the primary balancing lever. Yeah, but it's just too good. Like, there's not intended to have to flip back, and also, like, holy fuck, you could put it on there, and why would you ever? Because this side is so crazy. Like, it just can't be... It would be like... This, to me, I realize it's not this good. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something a little exaggeratory. This, to me, feels like if there was a spell that was... for X mana... You draw X cards, and then for every card you draw this turn, float 1 mana of any color. That's what this that's what this feels like to me. Just on a creature that beats you up.
What's awesome is you low-key just described Finale of Revelation. Like, at least a little bit you've described Finale of Revelation.
Yeah, that part where Finale of Revelation does not fucking talk about giving you your mana back is exactly what I said.
It says untap up to 5 lands.
I don't play Lotus Field, you fuck up. But yeah, a little bit. A little bit Finale of Revelation. Yeah, so it's just, this is just too, like, I think the, you need to, like, devour food 1/2, or you need to make X where X is like half the number of counters rounded down. Like, there's any number of math levers you can put on this thing that will correct what I feel is like the really big issue. But the really big issue is that you get instant and 1-for-1 return on your investment. Actually, greater than 1-for-1, because you get the power and he becomes more powerful, gets trample, and you get all the food back, and they're now chump blockers. It's like, immediately you get a 3-for-1 return on your investment. Okay.
Yeah. And God forbid you have like doubling season and you get like twice as much food back.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And then let me scroll down to the next
common rider.
Yeah, next common rider.
It's at 148 or
I've found it.
Yeah, bad time zone. It's 1248.
Bad time zone. All right, Hanto. Wait, hold on. Design notes for, so there's design notes for Overmaster. All right, there's design notes starting on Blizzard Sorbet that I will read for you. 124, the submissions are turned off for now. We're immediately running back a different stream because this was instantly more popular than I anticipated. All right, so we have Hanto Embittered Loner. 3 mana Rakdos, 2/3, first strike menace. Whenever he enters attacks or whenever you lose 1 or more life during your turn, make a food.
Necropotence moment.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Wall of Blood moment. Oh my god, there's so many ways to just pay 1 life at a time and control your life total in Rakdos.
I think that might have to be when you lose life for the first time. And then if you wanted that to be crazy, you could do first time each turn, and then you still have Wall of Blood moment on other people's turns, but we can't do even 1 or more. Like, I think the problem is the number of ways to go, okay, I pay 1. Okay, I pay 1. But we flip him into a 6/7 with first strike and menace. At the beginning of each end step, lose 3 life. Okay. Whenever you sack a creature or artifact, exile the top card of your library. You may play it during any food in which you sacrificed a food. This is my favorite backside instantly. Immediately favorite backside.
Yeah. Okay, I like this.
And now the front side making you 20 donuts makes sense because the backside is yeah, it turns it into impulse draw for your aristocrat thing. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I still kind of think you have to pull the handbrake on the first time you lose life each turn.
This could just say whenever it enters or attacks.
Nah, I want to crank it more than that. Come on. This dude just loses. You do enters or attacks make a food? Because it's Rakdos food. We don't have green food. We don't have white food. I mean, I guess you just... what I don't like about enters or attacks is you still build the commander, but now the commander has nothing to do with food, and you do generic aristocrats. That makes me sad.
I mean, there's like... Asmarana Magarsnik Holdakar.
Right. I can cram enough to... I guess it's like...
Because now you can turn your food into removal with Asmo.
Right.
And that'll trigger the backside.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I could see that then. Then I think you absolutely have to cut the life loss thing down, perhaps entirely. The backside I really enjoy. Little Mixed Doom, thank you for the additional 500 bits. We're probably not going to be able to get that card this stream, but it can be done on the next stream, which me and Elk are going to schedule post-haste. Let's keep moving through the common rider shit. Shuma!
Bant Shuma this time.
It's Bant?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Alright, whenever snow permanent CTB, make a food.
Okay.
What does it flip into?
Oh my god, words.
That are... Oh wait, this one has design notes. Hold on. I remember the name, because I have a little... Okay, the version of Shuma on the front doesn't have the usual text of making extras, because it's a version of him at a point in the show where he can't do it. Okay. The Blizzard.
I mean, this is the best front side so far.
Mm-hmm. The Blizzard sorbet form is on a timer when he uses it. Okay, so there's supposed to be a push and pull. Okay, so there's a little bit of pendulum action going on. Feel free to kill lifelink if you want. That's not the issue. We got a lot of words going on. Let me dig in. So lifelink, trample, vigilance, wind transforms, ice counter on each permanent. Permanents you control with ice counters are snow food in addition to their other types. Okay, making all my lands food is brave. We'll see how it goes. At the beginning of combat in your upkeep, remove an ice counter. If you don't control any permanents with ice counters, transform Gav. Alright, so that's like the sorbet melting. Whenever Gav attacks, draw X, where X is the number of permanents your opponents control with stun counters on them. Oh, but when we sack our snow food, it stun counters something.
Ah, okay. So my favorite sorbet, everyone knows, has a little treat inside, and that treat's called Merit Leish. Dark Depths enters with 10 ice counters. So you can keep Gav forever, basically, with Dark Depths. Which isn't, I'm going to say, a problem. It's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
I would say we're doing too much, again.
For sure.
The stun counter synergy, the ice counter synergy. Take a deep breath.
So, Alec, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to sound mean. I love you, buddy. You have attempted to fit an entire draft archetype onto one card. I like the draft archetype, actually. I fuck with this whole, like, ice counter melting. Ice counters can be leveraged to do stun counters. Stun counters can be leveraged to do card draw. We saw some of that with Shiva. I fuck with that. I think this is another instance where we have to like put a word limit on you, because you get really good ideas out when you're like, oh fuck, I have to cut a sentence. And then we get cards that are like, fuck yeah. And then when you're just like, now I get to go off.
Yeah. If you look at Jill from Final Fantasy, her front face is just a Manowar. It's a good Manowar, returns any non-land permanent instead of just a creature. And then 5 mana is all you need to flip her. And then she goes, can't be blocked, tap all lands, return her. And then you Manowar again. Like, this is evocative. but it's simple too.
Yeah. And this might be like evolutionary pressure that I have created by it being like, oh, I only submit one custom card, so I have to get a lot of energy into that custom card. I can understand that. Because the Age of Sigmar has been more restrained than this has been. But really this is the like signpost rare for a draft archetype. And like 5 of the best support cards all stapled to this guy's head. But I like the vision. All right, let's see if we can fit another one in. Suga, Seeker of Perfection. Dimir 1/1 with hexproof. Whenever you cast or copy an artifact or creature spell, make a food.
Okay.
3 mana, sack 3 food, 3 creatures, discard 3 cards, transform him. This guy's about to fucking blow up God on the backside. Bake beyond biology. Let me make sure this doesn't have a design note. I don't think it does. 7/7 hexproof menace. Whenever you sack a food or non-token artifact or creature, choose one. Target opponent discards their hand. Target opponent sacks a non-land permanent with the greatest mana value among non-land permanents they control. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. I mean,
okay, so
I get Scrawling Crawler back to my hand, or dump your hand, loser.
Yeah, so this actually just creates a bit of a lock because you can sacrifice a food or non-token artifact creature on each opponent's draw step before they get to go to main phase. And this thing has hexproof, so even if they have a kill instant, they can't target this.
Right.
So you just make them discard the card they drew every single turn. They draw it. So they only have their commander, in which case you just nuke their commander with the second mode, and then they don't get creatures or hands. Okay. So
let me pull this back to this right here. What has happened here is why WotC is printing less and less like 8 mana commanders, because on the front side we have a huge fucking investment. We need mana, we need food, we need creatures, and we need to dump our own hands. And because we have made a huge investment, we tell everybody to go fuck themselves forever, which is just too good of a payoff. And even if that payoff mirrors the investment he's making, that's never going to feel good to play against, because it just comes down to like, all right, either I shoot the twink the moment I see him with like an edict effect because he's hexproof, and if I can't, I'm gonna lose this fucking game. And it, like, you could make this 4 foods, 4 creatures, 4 cards, 5 foods, 5 creatures, 5 cards, and it's never going to be enough to make it feel to make the swing feel not terrible. I get the energy, and I like the energy. You could maybe make this like discard a card. That one I could see. Dump their hand is like dump their hand is, I have hidden a grenade somewhere inside your butthole. You have 5 minutes to identify its location before it will detonate.
Holy shit. Yeah, no.
Because discard their hand really, like, it can sometimes compete with the sack one. It will, I don't think, ever compete with the rehandimate an art. Like, do I want to rehandimate an artifact, or do I want to make sure my opponents continue to not play the game at all?
Non-token artifact or creature. This goes infinite, right?
I mean, yeah. As soon as we said, whenever we sack a creature, like if there's if there is a 0 mana artifact and a sack outlet, we can trigger this. Oh yeah. Soul Ring too.
Soul Ring, yeah.
Insert KCI loop.
Yeah, Soul Ring KCI is infinite mana with this backside. Which is amazing because that's the fairer thing you can do with this card.
Yeah. And so I want to pull it back to like, I think the problem here is not the energy of him being a dickhead as much as it is you went for like, if big investment, give massive payoff. And similar to the Golgari card, I think our ideas of like how much payoff should I get for the investment is a little bit skewed, and it's just on too big of a scale to ever work. Like it's just we're asking too much and we're giving too much for the ask. But even if our ROI was reasonable, because the investment is so big, it has to be so strong that it's always going to feel dog ass.
If this literally flipped into like a Phage the Untouchable, it would be a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just flip it when it hits someone, they die.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is, what if it was a wheel? Is it just becomes like, I'm not fucking playing this. If I have to do all of this to give my opponents new cards and fill their graveyard, I'm going to lie on the floor and weep. I'm not going to make food to sack for this man. And that's what I mean by we can't ever make the payoffs correct, because if the payoff is ever good enough for the person who's playing Suga to be like, yeah, this is worth it, everybody who sees Bake is going to call the police, and we're never going to fix that disconnect. Okay. El, can you do 2 more before you go, or do you have to dip now?
Yeah, we can wrap this up. Don't worry.
All right. God bless you. Hanto, friendship renewed. And then I'm going to open the other one to see if it's a design note one. It is. So let me go look at the design note. Hanto also gets ice powers, but he's not on a timer. So he's going to have snow synergy, but not like the first guy we saw. So this Jeskai, 4 mana 2/3 with first strike. Whenever you investigate or attack with 2 or more creatures, make a food.
This goes infinite with Academy Manufacturer.
God damn you! Yes. I think. Well,
I know it doesn't investigate.
Making a clue token does not trigger investigate.
Yeah, true. It does. I don't think it does. Yeah, okay. We're good then.
Then 3 mana sack, 2 foods, transform Hanto. I'm cool with this front side. I like that we've mixed in the Boros crash out text with the little loser blue investigate stuff. Yeah. And all right, what if for 3 mana we made the 4 mana creature the guy that could kill God? Beautiful. 5/6 double strike prowess vigilance. Okay, non-creature artifact and snow spells you control have improvise and flash.
Jesus fuck, are you joking? And like a food token set?
Whenever a clue or food you control improvises, it counts as producing snow. Okay. Wording on that might be weird, but I get the vision. Flurry, whenever you cast your second spell each turn, investigate. Gosh. Yeah.
This is very easy to fix.
White out half of it. It's so strong.
Yeah, it's just very good.
Okay, so let's put this into, let's tunnel this down to things I could understand as like stuff I would okay. If I saw a 5/6 with double strike, prowess, and vigilance, and the rest was blank, I would be like, wow, that's pretty good. To put in mind how I'm thinking of this. If I saw a coughing baby that gave non-creature artifacts and snow spells we controlled improvise and flash, I would go, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If I saw a coughing baby just with that flurry text, I would be like, we need to bring this up. But the stat stick and ass beater Scrabble, tremendous by itself. Like this in just any Jeskai deck, they're just like, oh, I win. I win, I kill you with this fist. And then god damn, I flash in Portal to Phyrexia.
By tapping like 4 foods and 5 mana.
Mm-hmm. And so I think this is another, like, we have 2 distinct cards, and I think what's happening here, or a smell I'm picking up, is because we're on like Power Ranger energy, we have made all of their backsides too good at fighting. That's a thing that I think is fucking up a lot of this for me, is every backside is incredible at ass beatery and gives incredible synergy. What I would recommend is splitting some of this synergy stuff. If there's anything that can be like the core of the Power Ranger suit, splitting that off as an artifact or enchantment that gives this synergy you want, and then the flipped versions of the cards are just the ass beaters. Because right now we have like, okay, I want them to be Power Rangers, so they hit you harder than God. And because they need to have flavor on top of that, we give them synergy with an archetype. And I think if we split those two things, yeah, the transformation devices, yes, that could do it.
To me, it's like Alesha's one of the best warriors in like the multiverse. And what does she get? First strike. That's the representation of that.
Spit my tea, you motherfucker. Greatest warrior in history. 2/2 with first strike. Or this guy 5'6" can beat God to death on a whim. I would not do meld, as Digit Damon's suggesting. Meld is more of that like, oh, but what if the investment was higher? Then the incredibly high payoff is fine, and then we're just back to a bake situation. I would just split them entirely and let them be different cards, and this helps the wordiness as well, where the riders themselves are just like food generators that become ass beaters. Archetype support is like a legendary artifact that is the transformation device. That's very clean.
The idea of meld cards is very fun.
Yeah.
Where you could go like, you have their suit and you have the character. And if the character is equipped with the right suit, they can meld.
Don't encourage this.
I think that's kind of cool. And
it's cool. It's cool. It's never going to be balanced.
Well, you don't put this many words even on the meld card. But...
yeah. And I do agree with what people are pointing out, that the flurry here is defeating the thing we had said about incentivizing the thing to flip back and forth. Like, because this can reinvestigate, and because the things you investigate give mana for you, we get we turbo the flip out, and we never ever ever consider flipping back. Let's go on to Overgav and Overmaster, which has another design note, so I'm going to go peep that. This is a final form. Wanted to have Wooburg identity and feel like a final boss. Okay, so this is going to kill God and then force God's wife to give you a back rub. Trying to capture not only its power relative to others, it's very slow and clumsy, but will smack somebody across a football field. While Master Form is fast and can access the weapons and abilities of all prior forms, so I gave it a toolbox. Wanted to give you a reason to swap. All right. Dope. 6 mana Gruul 8/8 with Trample. You may cast it for Wooburg to make it enter transformed. Over Smash. On attack, you may sacrifice X foods. If you do, Overgav gets +X/+X, where X is 3 times the number of foods sacrificed this way. That's fine, boom 1. That's fine, boom 1. When Overgav deals excess damage to a non-land permanent, make food tokens equal to excess. There we go again. Beautiful.
Holy shit.
So what is, let me think. We have to add 13 points of power. That's 5 foods. If I sack 5 foods, this is lethal.
Yeah, in green it's impossible to get 5 foods though. So.
How would, well, in Wooburg, it's Wooburg, you dumb son of a bitch. How would you get 5 foods in Wooburg?
I would never. You could never do it.
Then
the Arena of Glory also exists. Keep in mind, please.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go to the back.
Hit.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the back. 4/4 first strike, haste, lifelink, vigilance. Domain. When this creature enters or transforms into Master Gav, make X+1 food tokens, where X is each basic land type among lands you control. Okay, so makes food. Equipment, aura, and food cards you control have affinity for food. Master boost triple X, draw X. You can use food to improvise this. I think what I mean, we tried to capture final boss energy, and that became, this has to be just straight honking. This has to just honk the shit out of everything forever. And then we did the, like, too many things on one card.
Yeah. Mald, if you can go back to the front side really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you're on the front side, right? You're not on the back side.
Yeah, I'm on the front
Tell me
side.
tell me what the back side does.
First strike, vigilance, lifelink, haste. It has a domain ability. My eyes are closed, by the way. Where when it enters or transforms, you get X+1 foods. X is the number of basic land types you control. Enchantments, food, and one other type of card have affinity for food, but the ability is templated wrong. And then it has an exhaust ability for triple X to draw X cards, but you can tap food to pay for 1 colorless mana. You can also tap the creature to transform it.
Yeah, you remembered most of that, which is impressive. It's auras. That's the third card.
Oh, it was I swapped equipment with enchantment, and then I was like, oh, it can't be auras because I already said enchantment. But yeah, this is another, like, that affinity thing could be a whole different card.
Why are you spamming cheater? I wasn't the one testing myself. I was testing Maul.
Yeah, it was meant to be a bit about how wordy the card is. Unfortunately for Elk, I'm really good at remembering words. If I had called equipment with 2 P's with my eyes closed, I would just post that clip every day until I retired.
Okay, but we're built different.
Yeah, we're built different. And okay, let me align my complaints in a nice little box. Both sides are ass beater prime. Both sides are incredibly good at fighting. We line up lethal basically just with lands and this card, which is another instance of we have put the entirety of what should be a deck or the entirety of what should be an archetype into one singular card. Are you aligned?
Holy shit, you're right. Yeah, you cast this for Wooburg. It enters. You attack it as vigilance. You tap to transform him. He's still attacking.
Mm-hmm.
You sack all the food.
Well, I don't think, because once you attack, and if you transform after you declare him as an attacker, you would not get the Gav attacks trigger. So it would still be split up by a turn, but it is still just, holy god, this is everything the deck needs on a card. And I don't enjoy that, even if it's not a I play this, you die. I think the draw X is like very unnecessary. You could keep it if we killed the affinity ability, and genuinely killed the domain ability. Like, I think if you just gave me Wooburg, Assbeater Prime, that can become Assbeater Double Prime, which is Overgav, and then it has Master Boost if my deck has made a lot of food. Like, if these are just incredibly powerful food payoffs, but they can't make food, I support that. You're in Wooburg, you get all the Lord of the Rings cards, you get all these other Common Rider customs that can make you an extra food. But the fact that they try to make the food that they pay you off for, too much.
Yeah.
But you could keep Oversmash if neither side makes food. You could keep Master Boost if neither side makes food. And then you just give them Assbeater Scrabble, they get good stat lines. But as it stands, yeah, 99 lands, one of them is Arena of Glory, you honk the table.
Yeah. I don't know what to think anymore. I've tried.
Okay, we're going to free Elk at this point. Elk, thank you so much for joining this custom card review stream. We will talk later about when we schedule the next one. Everybody across my platforms, go follow 33 Elk on you're not on TikTok. On YouTube, Twitch, and Blue Sky, apparently. They are a very fun, funny, and intelligent creator who can teach you a lot about deck building and being cunty. And so they are going to continue streaming. I'm going to raid into them. Stop for the day. I am genuinely very sorry to everybody whose cards we could not get to today. We still have the queue. Those redeems are still going to be honored. I did not anticipate we would go for 3 hours straight and get like genuinely a quarter of the way through. So I will make some process improvements to this, and we will be back at it soon with more of this. Marty the Goose July commissions drop this Sunday. Free roast stream this Saturday. Elegman, everybody, thank you for being so generous today, and thank you for participating. I'm gonna raid into Elk, and Elk can get on with their job for the day. I free you. The raid message is
I'm right here. What do you mean the raid message?
The raid shut the fuck up. The raid message is Gav on it. The raid message is Gav on it in honor of those last 2 cards. So thank you all. That's gonna be it for me. I'll be live again tomorrow. I think tomorrow is a brawl stream, if anybody's interested in that. Goodbye. Elk, goodbye. Have a very good day. Thank you again.
See ya. Bye.